Hello everybody, welcome to the Sporty stream tonight. Nice to see you all. My name is Sporty FC, and we've got some incredible matches coming to you guys here live. Our first match, Phantom Myling versus New Age Tempest. This match from the Carcelona City League, which is our first time seeing this league. And joining us is one of their verified casters, Brambo. Welcome in, Brambo. How you doing? It's been a long time since you've been here.
Yeah, it's been quite a bit since I've been on the Sporty Stream. Happy to be here. And, as a fellow newcomer to the Car Soccer City League, I mean, it's been interesting to just find these new and up and coming leagues and see what they're. And I joined it actually by chance because I happened to cast Acid Rain, who is in the Ascended Tournament Series, also plays in this league. So that's how I got brought in. I'm curious what brought you into Car Soccer City.
Ironically, it was actually New Age Gaming who got me involved in this. They said, "Hey, we're in this league. Can you cast a match?" And I went, "What league? All right, I gotta check this out." So yeah, we're now in Carcelona City. And speaking of New Age, this is New Age Tempest. We've seen this team on the stream a ton with them in the Rocket League. Splasher is doing okay there, but in this league, they're doing quite well. This is Champ 1 to Champ 2 level. They're on the high end of that rank. So right now, they're 3-0 against Phantom Myling, who are 2-1. So, Phantom Myling put it the Phantom Esports org. I do notice on my stream, the logo doesn't appear because it's on the blue side, of course. That's how this works here, but again, part of Phantom Esports, taking on New Age, Tempest out of New Age Gaming. A best of 5. This is all 3v3 here tonight, and again, as mentioned, New Age Tempest have been unstoppable so far. They have had an insanely good record, 9 games to 2 in the winnings, so these guys have been tough to beat this season, and they look to keep that kind of run going.
Definitely, indeed. I'm familiar with some of the Phantom Esports teams, but I've definitely caught New Age Tempest on your stream quite a few times, and definitely see they have a lot of strengths, and they're undefeated. Uh, so that's always a good start. But that streak has to end at some point. And I'm sure the longer that streak, the higher that streak goes, the more people are just gunning for you, pulling out all the stops just to be the ones that had taken down your undefeated streak. So it does paint a bigger target on your back and kind of pushes and pulls the best out of your opponents.
Yeah, and as you mentioned that again, it's only our first of 2 matches tonight that have been scheduled. Our next one being from the Ascend Tournament Series that you mentioned, the Apex Cup with FC Carcelona taking on Team Evo Academy. So, the league match coming right after this one. But for now, again, our match, Phantom Myling New Age Tempest, our first look at Carcelona City and what this league has to offer. What's interesting about this league is teams play 2 matches per week. So actually, this is not week 4. This is actually week 2 for Carcelona City. The end of week 2. I believe actually today might be the second to last day to play your matches for this week. So these teams getting the matches in quite late here, but they are getting them in nonetheless. And again, unlike most leagues, it's 2 matches a week for these guys, so they've got a lot more they've got to be on top of, and it also means they have a lot less time to prepare for matches like this. So the pressure really is on them. But if we take a look at that lineup one more time, just to mention it, with New Age Tempest, I've seen this team a good amount. I've seen a lot of Matt and I've seen a lot of Mekriel. Going to see all of them continue to find that space, specifically Matt, who I think has got some of the best mechanics at that Champ 2 level.
Yeah, I'm not too. The names on the Phantom side don't really ring a bell all too much, but I can. If they're in this league, I mean, they're still 2-1. I mean, their only loss was to, let's see, recently to Top Dogs. Actually, they got 3-0'd by Top Dogs, who actually have a worse record than them, but in the game winning percentages, they are doing a lot better than Phantom. I think that's only because Phantom had a forfeit win in the first matchup of week 1. And speaking of the matchups, you mentioned Car Soccer City having 2 games per week. I can see the pros and cons of it. The pros being, it's a 6 week long season. You get to play 12 games, and you get a lot of games in at one time. So it's very condensed, a lot of action, and especially for casters like us, it'll definitely keep us busy for a while.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, there are some downsides, and one of the downsides is if you aren't doing that well, you don't have a lot of time to prepare for that next series. So, for a lot of these teams, it's really about day in and day out, making sure you become the best team possible, because as we mentioned, hot bad streaks are going to carry on for a lot of these sides, and we're already seeing some teams start off this season not so well. I mean, Talk about some of these teams here that these kind of weak records, like Black Diamond Nebula, for instance, are 1-3 right now. That's a pretty solid roster. So, again, what a interesting situation to be in, because at 1-3, that's a pretty solid roster. Black Diamond's a pretty, it's a pretty important organization. So, we'll see what happens though. But this is not about Black Diamond. I don't know why I'm even mentioning Black Diamond. This is Phantom and this is New Age. These are different organizations, and they're actually on a hot streak. Both these teams doing pretty well. Even again with Phantom Esports having suffered that one loss, they're still doing just fine for themselves. I mean, a 2-1 record is nothing to be mad about. And again, if they continue this kind of positive momentum, they could be in the top 8, which do go to the playoffs at the end of the season, out of 16 teams total. So for Phantom, they're going to look to keep the positive momentum, because that's really going to matter for them.
Yeah, it's like you said, the momentum is a big thing. You have a bad week, that's 2 games down the hole, and so definitely wanting to keep the good times rolling. But New Age Tempest, definitely they've got a hot streak of their own. They're looking to keep that alive and keep their losses even in games down. I mean, only losing 2 games so far this season out of the 3 series you won. I mean, that's a pretty good start, and I know New Age Tempest is going to want to keep that going.
Yeah, as you mentioned, they're definitely going to want to keep that going. I mean, there's no reason not to. If you're having such a good season, why slow that down? But it's so easy to say that, and then we see teams. It's so tough to be consistent. So I would hold off on anything crazy here, because it could be definitely some change up, some unique situations to go for. And you think with teams being this undefeated, at some point they're going to lose. I mean, we just saw recently Evolve Skylight lose in the Rocket League Splash Race, and they had a 4-0 record at that point. So I mean, anything can happen, and you really cannot count any team out, especially not these teams that are just behind that top echelon. They can definitely create some chaos, and I expect Galactic. I expect Galactic. That's a different org. I expect Phantom to do exactly that. This is an org that loves chaos, and I think this team in Phantom Myling is one of their new teams. So wouldn't be too surprising to see if maybe they come in and try to mix things up here and try to really make this New Age Tempest side struggle with chaos, because that's one of the best ways to beat these top teams.
Definitely, a lot of demos, a lot of bumps, keeping them off the rhythm so they can't get those timings right. Teams that practice a lot, they get a lot of, that timing, those pre-jumps and all that. If you even take that off by a second, that can really mess up the game, the flow of the game for the team. So, definitely that physical play can be a factor. A lot of teams don't like to start off physical unless that's just their motto. A lot of times they will just stick to playing Rocket League and just playing what's best for them. But the minute you start to feel that the game's getting out of control is the second you start to see the demos coming out left and right.
Yes, we will be getting in here. Both teams have just joined, so let's get into this series here. Phantom Myling taking on New Age Tempest, a best-of-5 matchup, our first match tonight here. Phantom on the blue. Again, I apologize for the logo basically being unseeable. It's camouflaged very well here, but there we go. It's a little better on this screen. Taking on New Age Tempest here. Carcelona City joins the 40th stream, their first series ever on this stream, part of Season 4, and New Age Tempest, they look to keep their undefeated season going. Phantom Myling, one of the top teams that could potentially upset them and take that away. This series in match week 2, reminder, 2 weeks, 2 matches per week. Definitely going to be a huge test for both of these sides who are nearing the top of the league, as Phantom Myling with the early offense, nearly putting that early shot in, and already you're getting the sense that New Age Tempest, they're seeing that there's chaos in front of them, and they are struggling to keep up with it.
They're just getting a little warmed up, but it didn't take too long as Matt, the caster curse is real. Matt takes the pass from Mikkel and puts a nice shot just to the side. Dusk could not handle it enough, and it still moves forward and goes in. And New Age Tempest up first.
Yeah, bad timing. I forgot that they do have Matt and Mekil on this team, as Mekil has now scored this one. Off the kickoff, New Age Tempest not stopping themselves anymore. Matt and Mekil combined twice in the span of 5 seconds to get 2 goals. And as I mentioned, watch out for Matt, watch out for Mekil. And I probably should have added, watch out especially for both of them when they're both playing this well.
I was gonna say before, you were finished with your sentence that, New Age definitely game ones are always warm up times. Sometimes teams take the entire game to warm up. Other times they take about, 30 seconds. And right now, New Age Tempest, a great start to this game one. But I'd say this all the time. Game ones are not a real marker, but a great dodge of that bump though by Matt. And it goes to the far wall, tries to go up for it, and gets pressured by Phantom Myling. And now they will take possession, and Dusk can't quite handle the back pass, and Hootie will take it. Just for a little bit as Emily now has possession off into the corner, trying to get a center, denied by Mikil. And now they will clear to the midfield. Dusk trying to handle it, able to get it over one, gets another bump, has an opportunity, gets the touch, and gets on the board for Phantom Myling, now within one.
Yeah, great play there from Dunk. Doesn't just get over Mekil, but also gets the dunk on Hoodie there. It's such a tough position to be in because there's only one player from Phantom, and they've really struggled at getting into offense, but sometimes those solo plays do break their way through, and for a team like Phantom who, needed something positive to think about at the start of this series, that will definitely do it for them, although New Age will, as always for New Age Tempest, look to shut that down quickly. They're so good at doing that, especially again with Matt, if he leads the offensive charge, because this guy can make offense all by himself, and it's so tough to stop him as he's made it just under the end. That net's wide open, but he won't get it in. Macula, go for it, and that's bar down skis, and in from Hoodie, New Age Tempest. As I've said, love to answer back quickly, and I do it here as well. Everybody involved in the offense, but it's Hoodie with the ultimate touch to seal the deal.
And just a correction, Missouri in the chat is saying
Mekil.
It's pronounced Mekil. Mekil. So thank you for that Thank you for that correction. Us
We both pronounced it wrong.
We gotta we both said it wrong in two different ways. Always appreciate the updates. So thank you for that correction, Missouri. And Meko getting the credit for the pass, for the assist, that Bardansky, dangerously close. You never know which way it's gonna go, but the team effort on the side of New Age Tempest as Matt sends it a little high, looking for the follow, but no one is left to take a follow-up shot. And now Hoodie will take it from Phantom Myling. A little double commit, but no worse for wear as Squashy now trying to handle it out of their zone. Still on the far wall. Hoodie will take it. Still not out. Emily looking to get it out, but gets demoed instead. And Dusk now having to reset to try and get this ball into possession. Meanwhile, Hoodie resets and puts the pressure on. Shot on net. Denied by the Phantom defense. Now Squashy finally gets it into the orange zone. Tap up by Hoodie and just out of reach of Phantom Myling. They will go back and forth and now have an opportunity, but denied by Dusk. One-on-one opportunity, a soft touch, an easy save by Hoodie. And right now, Phantom Myling look to get themselves back within one. A shot! Another touch by Squashy and save by Mekil and Matt.
Yeah, I can't believe New Age Tempest have kept themselves out, but that's how they've been playing so far this game. It has been all about getting on the offense and staying there, keeping Phantom Myling trapped. The problem for New Age is they can't get a lot of shots from this offense. They just aren't getting close enough to net. And for Phantom Myling, that does give them space to come back, but as you're seeing, they're getting so few chances, and when they do get them, the New Age Tempest defense is no joke in this league. You have to do a lot to take them down, and right now, we're seeing Phantom Myling, who has a strong offense, but just not strong enough if you want to take down this New Age Tempest side that looks to be the best team in the league, and so far is proving they may well deserve that title because Phantom Myling, being one of the scary teams here as well, again, a 2-1 record, they're struggling just to get plays upfield.
And not a struggle there. Dusk almost sneaking one past the defense, and it seems like they get those flashes of brilliance, they get those counterattacks, but they're lacking in the sustained offense, which is where New Age Tempest is thriving. They're getting the second shot, the third shot, and getting those attempts. And a great pass by Mekil, denied by Emily, who now goes out. 30 seconds remaining. They've got to score now if they want any chance of tying this game. A nice flick over one. Squashy puts it on net, but Matt gets an easy save. Gets bumped out of the play, and Emily will go up for it. Keeps it in play. Matt recovers and clears, but midfield line is as far as it goes as Dusk tries to settle it. Shot from the midfield line on target. Squashy has to make a save on Hoodie's shot. now the final 5 seconds, it looks like that's going to be all she wrote. And this game is going to go the way of New Age Tempest as they take the series lead.
Yeah, great start from New Age Tempest, really. We need to see how much field domination they had, because it was only 52%, but I mean, it felt like a lot more of that game. I mean, you saw that middle point of the game, and they had all of the midfield. Well, they didn't hold the ball as easily, but they definitely won on just that pressure, but you saw by the end of the game, New Age Tempest struggled a little bit more with Phantom Myling, but you're getting the sense that, you know, it's a battle where both these defenses are strong, but one team is playing a little bit better, and right now it's New Age Tempest who are making a lot more of their chances, especially with this Mekil and Matt connection. I mean, just both of them, you know, assisting each other and assisting all the goals. If Mekil and Matt continue to do this, there should be nobody that can stop them.
Definitely not. But as I always say, it's game one. So it's a good start. You know, New Age Tempest came out strong and came out fast, a goal apiece as well for each member of New Age Tempest. I mean, everybody's getting a piece of the action, but it's only game one. A lot of warm up really needs to happen. And it always is. It's always the case with these games. So, you know, I expect Phantom Myling to get this one a little bit closer going into game two. If we don't, we could very well see ourselves a sweep with New Age Tempest if they keep playing this way.
Yeah, but we'll see if that is what happens. Your Phantom Myling have played well enough that they have the ability to prevent a sweep. But as you said, they've got to do a little bit better, a little bit more to get that eventual breakthrough. And so far, again, for a team that has been having a pretty successful season, New Age Tempest definitely a tough matchup for them. And as I said, New Age Tempest doing better at getting to offense and holding it. As we go into game number 2, as I said, this is a more important game for these teams and how they're going to play for the rest of the series. And for Phantom Myling, they could 100% pull a 180 here, turn things around, but it is New Age Tempest who are currently the favorites, the team that's considered the stronger side of this matchup, and they'll look to continue that as already an infield play, nearly found Mats, and New Age Tempest already continuing what they started in game 1.
Definitely picking up where they left off, and that's a good sign for New Age Tempest, but Phantom Myling able to survive. They're able to keep this game tied for now, but not for much long as Mekil taps it right over the last man and gets the first strike in the first 30 seconds of game number 2.
Well, I guess if I have one, you need to have one as well, Brambo. New Age Tempest, making sure that we both have equal numbers of cash to curse this series. We'll see if that trend continues, but it is New Age Tempest scoring first once again, and again, it's Matt who ends up with that play, and just, I've mentioned how good he has been on offense, how much of a savior he's been for this New Age Tempest side. Without him, that offense falls apart. It is not even close to as strong as it is. He's that player who can hold possession, keep the ball close. He's one of those kind of players who can do so much of the dirty work so well, but that play nearly went in for Phantom. An incredible dunk, but just out of the net. New Age Tempest will stay in for now, but the pressure from Phantom Myling still ever present in this series, as it was in game 1. We just need to finish off on some of these plays, and they'll be in a golden position.
Definitely, you know, that's the kind of the plays you need on the side of Phantom Myling, and Dusk has definitely been that player for his team, and, you know, looking for those opportunities. And oh my god, the patience by Matt, freezing the defender. Oh my goodness, we gotta watch this again. Mystic, the last one there, just not knowing what he's gonna do, running out of room, and finally taps it right behind him. Oh my goodness, what a goal by Matt.
Matt is employing the use of mind games and mental warfare in that goal. New Age Tempest score again. Once again, it is Matt, that star aggressor for them, who continues to find the trends that work, and we're starting to see a bit more of the mechanical side of Matt that I have mentioned and hinted at already. It's only going to get stronger from here, because once he starts to feel confident about his mechanics, you're going to see him do it over and over again. And generally speaking, if he's more confident, he's a lot tougher to beat, and he's a lot more aggressive too. So you really don't want to meet him when he's confident, because this is what happens now, opening up space. Matt again from the backfield. This time saved by LEB, but Phantom Myling maybe starting to get some concerns here, because Matt is getting stronger, and it's going to be tough to keep him out of offense.
Oh, Dusk with a nice shot, just a little wide. Mystic, who is subbing in for Squashy, mind you, definitely making their presence known. Pressure again by Dusk, puts it towards the center, but two defenders there, and with the power of friendship, they get a powering clear into the blue zone, goes right to Mekhill, but Dusk gets in the way of it and sends it to the far wall. Matt with possession, trying to send it towards a goal, stopped by Mystic. Now Dusk carrying it out. Can he get it out of his zone? He can, just over Mekhill. And now Mystic going for the secondary tap. Demoed out of the play by Mekhill. Good play on Dusk to give them some space and try to get it out of the field. But Mystic pressuring him too much. Puts a shot on, saved by Matson. And now, New Age Tempest, they're feeling a little bit of offensive pressure, but they're handling it with ease. I mean, they're not showing any signs of stress at all.
They aren't, and that's surprising with how many demos Phantom Myling is starting to pour onto that defense. I mean, just look at the amount of plays that these players are just going after each other with. I'm surprised we haven't seen more panic from these sides when you lose a player, because it's so easy to do that. I guess it does show just how quality the teams are at this level, at this play style. As Phantom Myling with a breakaway chance, Dusk chasing down Hoodie, but he won't get there in time to demo him away. And it will be New Age Tempest to win this ball out and force Phantom Myling into resetting the offense, resetting the plays, and once again having to worry about those demos, because it feels like at any point New Age Tempest can bring another one in and send Phantom Myling reeling all the way back to their goal line.
Definitely, they got to watch out for it. And a couple of times, just like that, they've had those clear shots from that over-aggressive New Age Tempest, and Emily cashes it in finally. They've had a couple good opportunities for this, but they just haven't been on target. Finally able to do so, and Emily B gets Phantom Myling within one.
A little over a minute to go, Phantom Myling have many opportunities to tie this game up to make things a little more interesting here against New Age Tempest, and they might do it quickly because already they're on offense right off the kickoff, but that play won't end up very far as New Age Tempest will look to clear this one out as Matt again going to offense. Matt one-on-one. Oh, he's got the fake. Still, it's Matt to shoot, and it's Tusk to keep him out, but again, the mind games from Matt nearly sending Phantom Myling all the way back, and what a goal that would have been had it gone in. New Age Tempest definitely not playing the defensive anymore. This team still playing as aggressively as they've seen them before. And Phantom Myling have every reason to be concerned because Matt right now is continuing to lead the charge. They look for another one. Saved by Mystic. Phantom Myling are keeping it close.
Definitely. And, with those defensive plays, Dusk OC definitely overplayed the ball, but was able to recover and stuff Matt C and keeps them within one. 10 seconds remain, less than 10 seconds at this point, and they've got one last opportunity to get a goal, but Matt has possession. Mystic keeps it up, pressured by Mekhill, still not on the ground yet, kept up by Emily B. Over to Mystic, intercepted by Hoodie. It's gonna hit the ground, and New Age Tempest win game number 2.
Match point for New Age Tempest. The undefeated side looks to keep that going, looks to keep that reality, and really with all they've been doing and how they've been playing, is there any... I don't know if there's anything that's going to stop this team. I mean, the record right now is 9-2 in games, and it might become 12-2 after this with how they're playing against Phantom Myling, mind you, a team that's 2-1. So this side is looking quite impressive. This is showing you just how much of a difference there is between the top of this league and the teams that are close to the top of this league, and it's a lot bigger than I thought it would be.
Yeah, the game is actually a lot closer. Despite the score, I mean, it looks a lot closer score-wise, but the comfort level between the two teams is the real difference maker. You can see Matt and Mekhill and Hoodie even, all super comfortable, not really feeling the pressure. Even that goal that Phantom Myling got was from an over-aggressive New Age Tempest team. They are not even concerned that much about defense. They're playing mind games with their opponent as well. And, we talked about at the top of the game, at the top of the series, once things started getting out of control for one team, the demos are going to come in. But they did for Phantom Myling, but New Age Tempest answered in stride. They matched them demo for demo. They're like, if you want to get physical, we can do it with the best of them as well.
And we'll see if Phantom Myling will make another substitution. As you said, in the middle of that game, Mystic came in to substitute, but... is he sticking around? It looks like he is. I don't know if they're making another sub or not for this game. It's a real question for Phantom Myling as we'll get these teams in once again for game number 3. And, well, we'll have to see how these teams are feeling because it really is such a interesting question to ask. You know, are they going to make a change? Are they going to do it? And the answer is no, they're not actually going to sub back in Squashy. So they found something that obviously must have succeeded for them last game. It was only a 1-goal difference, but I do have concerns for Myling because, as you said, that goal came late and it came to an overcommit from New Age Tempest. It really didn't come from Myling looking all that much better, and that's the issue. They didn't look much better between Game 1 and Game 2. It really just was that the scoreline was a little bit closer just by circumstance.
Yeah, definitely better on the defensive side. They didn't have too many defensive mistakes, but they had some good offensive opportunities. They just were met by an even better defensive stance on the side of New Age Tempest, so maybe they felt a little better, but right off the bat, 1 shot, 2 shot, goes in, and Meko, just like that, in the first minute, scores yet again for New Age Tempest, and picking up right where they left off in the previous 2 games.
Hoodie with an assist. We haven't seen too much of him play that offensive style. He's really let a lot more of this go to Matt and Mekil, but he's pushed up more in last game, and you're seeing that here in Game 3 come to succeed for Hoodie. And what's scarier than having both Matt and Mekil on the offense is having Hoodie on the offense too, and New Age Tempest. It feels like every game is playing one more player upfield. If we go to Game 4, I have a feeling even the post, that last defender for them, will play offense for them. That's how much this offense has increased for this New Age Tempest side. They've just gotten scarier and scarier every game, with more and more aggression and more confidence to boot, and for Phantom Myling, as I said, it's not making a difference here for them and how they're feeling. It's only making them feel even more claustrophobic, which is a bad feeling in a series where New Age Tempest is giving you no space, but an answer from Dusk. Phantom Myling will take it, and this game is tied.
And that's the stuff you need to see from Phantom Myling. You're not the first effort, sometimes the second, but definitely a third. You know, it was the second effort that really exhausted the resources on defense, and there was only a one-on-one left. Dusk putting a laser to the top shelf and able to get them tie this game up. And that's what you want to see from Phantom if you want to make this a competitive series.
Yeah, as you said, they need to make this competitive somehow, some way. As a welcome from AOS. Just thank you for the follow, AOS. Just welcome to the Twitty stream. I'm joined here by Brambo. We've got Carcelona City, and it's New Age Tempest who should have taken the lead there at a 2-0 series lead over Phantom Myling. Here in Game 3, they could win the series in a 3-0 sweep in this game. And so far, we've seen a lot of Matt on offense, a lot of Mekil on offense, a lot of Hoodie on offense, and New Age Tempest only continuing that as the pressure increases. Phantom Myling with some issues the other way, because this is a New Age Tempest side that's only gotten scarier and scarier every game, and Phantom Myling, well, they've kept things close. But New Age Tempest could definitely take this game. There's no reason they couldn't.
I mean, there's no reason they couldn't, but I can definitely see, you know, Phantom finally starting to feel a little more comfortable and starting to punish this aggression on New Age Tempest, catching him on the back foot, and Mystic with that tap sends the defense skirting the other direction just on that shot. What a misdirect. Really caught the defense sleeping, and for the first time in this series, Phantom Myling have a lead.
Yeah, I can't believe we'll see the day that Phantom Myling lead in this match, because it really has felt, you know, like something that was possible, just always out of reach for them, but now they're finally really putting the test to New Age Tempest. New Age Tempest, as I said, love to answer back, and they'll do it there. It's Hoodie, and it's New Age Tempest giving Phantom Myling something else to think about.
He heard the call out from Sporty. Hasn't seen me on offense too much. Oh, well, here's a laser right back, and tying this game doesn't give Phantom Myling too much of comfort in that lead. A taste of victory is all you get, and now we are tied yet again. But I feel like that's not all she wrote. Definitely somebody's got to score at least one more time, but when will it be, as Emily sends it downfield, looking for the follow-up, but Hoodie sends it to the corner. Emily reading the play beautifully, just can't handle it quite yet. But Dusk off the sidewall, it's going towards the net. Hoodie clears it to the far wall. Now trying to get it out of his own zone, able to do so just to midfield. They don't quite have possession yet. Emily a little under the ball, can't keep it, push it forward, but Dusk sends it down. Emily leaving it for Dusk to handle, trying to get it past Hoodie, able to do so. Matt trying to handle it, dangling over the net, but able to clear. Still, one to beat. Matt goes for boost instead of ball, gives it right to Emily. Emily has an opportunity, dangling center, Dusk re-jumps, but Mekil gets the clear. and they will reset now. Mekhill with the counterattack, leaving it for Dusk with the interrupt. Hoodie sends it to the far wall. Matt coming down, stopped by Emily, but not out of yet. Hits a little off the crossbar. A second touch by Mekhill, and that is all she wrote. They've got the lead once again.
Yeah, it really felt like an absolute movie there, just between both these sides. You can never really sit down comfortably if you're any of these teams. It's just so back and forth, so counterattack heavy. And here in Carcelona City, our first time in this league, and it might be New Age Tempest to take the match over Phantom Myling a little over minutes ago to hold this lead, and maybe even add more to it, as Matt's looking for the dribble, but his touch will be heavy, although he will go in for a massive slam on Mystic to keep Phantom Myling away, although not for long, as we're seeing here. Phantom Myling still on offense. Emily B towards net, cleared by Mekhill away. Hoodie to keep this out. Adventurously for the midfield. Mekhill. We're back by Dusk. Mekhill again. In front for Matt. He's already up for it. But he will not get the win there. And Phantom Myling will hold control, at least for now, as time ticks away. But their spirit's still high. Time is there for them. They'll get chances. But will they make them count? That's the true question here as we're heading into the final half a minute of Game 3 with Phantom Myling series life on the line.
I feel like it was a sense of, New Age Tempest sort of playing with their food. And then once they realized they were losing this game, they turned it up a notch, and the momentum has completely shifted over to New Age Tempest in the final 15 seconds. Everything on the line. Phantom Myling on the back foot in their own zone. Hoodie with possession, just passing it back to teammates, intercepted by Dusk. Good 50 win. It's in the air. Matt trying to settle it down. Good bump by Hoodie and Matt, and they will clear it into the zone. And not hit the ground yet. Emily keeping it alive for now. Able to tap it, but can't handle it. And New Age Tempest win it in a 3-0 sweep.
Our first time in Carcelona City, and this match is all New Age Tempest. As we mentioned, every game has been close, but you mentioned the comfortability. Talk about this game for me. This really was not comfortable at times, but I really think it was, it really was a comfortable match for New Age Tempest, even if it didn't look that way at times. Sure, as you said, Phantom Myling had that lead. As you said, New Age Tempest looked comfortable, looked like they were just playing, looked like they were having fun. You never really counted this team out of this game, and they always were, active in one way or another, and for Phantom Myling, unfortunately for them, it just felt like New Age Tempest always came back to catch them, and, well, they'll take a 3-0 sweep because of this. What a series so far. Again, a win for New Age Tempest. This team dominating this league here, and unfortunately, Phantom Myling, their season's been good, but they've got a lot to work on, and specifically, it's just consistency, because those top teams have something that they don't.
Yeah, it felt like in the beginning, maybe, Phantom Myling were starting to gain some momentum. They were starting to get a sense of how it was to beat New Age Tempest. But then the second Phantom Myling got the lead, New Age Tempest just turned up to 11. And it just said, no, they're just literally playing down. And as soon as it came to, oh, we're losing, they got 2 quick goals, and then they just kept it close. It feels like when New Age Tempest just has possession and they need to step it up, they do, and then they just kind of level it out once they have the lead.
Yes, joining us here to talk about this match is the captain of New Age Tempest. Welcome in, Hoodie, a 3-0 sweep, the first ever Carcelona City match on here. I know you guys really wanted us to stream this match, and we are here to watch it, and you guys continuing your undefeated run, your dominant streak. That series looks quite comfortable for you guys. Was it actually as comfortable as we thought it was?
Honestly, we kind of played worse than we usually do. We fixed it near the end. The first game was kind of scuffed. We weren't rotated the best we could. We allowed a goal in that we really didn't want to let in. But I mean, I think when you win a 3-0, you play good enough.
Definitely. And let's talk about game number 2 specifically. Once you got into game 2, it felt like you guys were just kind of just a little bit more comfortable. You were starting to play mind games, and with that second goal and so on and so forth. So like, talk about going into game 2, you felt like you didn't hit the mark in game 1. What went different for that in game 2?
As you know, game 2, I think I had 90 or 74 points, something like that. I just let Mekhill and Matt take the offense, and I kind of support them at the third. And Matt, he loves those mind games, man. He will do it every time. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't matter to him. But he's good at it. That's what I tell him. Play the game that you're good at. If you can play with mind games or you can, do your solo plays when needed, do them. But yeah, I mean, we figured out what we needed to do and locked in and tightened things up.
Yes, you did, and with again this being one of the top teams that you've had to play so far this season, again you guys have been very tough to take down, and you've again kept your undefeated streak even against some again very tough opponents. This again probably being the toughest so far, with the with tougher teams to come in the future. Again, with this season being as long as it is, it's gonna be tough to keep that undefeated record. So. What are you guys doing to kind of plan to keep this record as it is? Because it is so tough to win week in and week out, especially when you have 2 matches, and any mistake, in any match could be the end of a series.
I mean, we play our game. We're a big demo team. We lead the league in demos between me and Matt. Mikkel doesn't demo as much, which is fine. We don't need him to. Me and Matt take care of it all. This series, we really didn't get that many demos, so we kind of played away from our plan. But I know if we stick to our plan and stick to how we play, I think we can beat anybody.
It's funny you mentioned that. It feels like when demos come into play, it's more as a response to what's happening in the series. So for you, you guys to say that's just part of your game plan. Do you guys let that settle in when it's needed, or were you guys just? You mentioned you were feeling off, so was that a factor in that?
I did notice it the first game. We really weren't getting demos, so I kind of hunted a little more in the second game, which also puts me out of position a little bit as an offensive player. But I like to give openings to my teammates because I know they'll knock it in the net. And that's what we do. And Matt's really good about rotating through and getting demos when he can. And it just this game kind of felt different because they were a little bit slower than we anticipated, so we really didn't have to chase demos and open up the net. We were able to do that on our own without getting demos.
Well, you definitely did that. Again, thank you so much for joining here with us, Hoodie. A field sweep for not Phantom, that's the team you beat, against Phantom, Myling for New Age Tempest. Congratulations on your win. Before we're going to end this little interview here, is there any shoutouts you have, any last things you want to say?
Shout out to my teammates. I mean, they keep coming to play every time. Mikhail knocks them in the net, and Mikhail, I mean, Matt, my mistake. Matt plays those mind games. Keep unlocking them and letting them play the way they want, and we'll keep winning.
Well, again, congratulations on your win here, Hoodie. A field sweep for New Age Tempest, keeping your incredible season going. Thank you so much for joining tonight, Hoodie. Have an amazing rest of your night, and hopefully we'll see you again soon for Car Soccer City. Or RLSS, I know you guys are in there too.
Yep, thank you for the cast. I think we're doing a game Friday. So if you want to cast that one, I'll probably hit you up.
I absolutely cannot make it.
Oh, damn.
Friday is the day I am not available this week. That's unfortunate.
Gotcha. No worries. All right, have a good one.
We just had a live booking there from Hoodie. But Brambo, nice to meet there with Hoodie. I feel sweet for Tempest. Unfortunately, I know you got your stream to tend to, but you want to talk maybe a little bit about that? Maybe give some final words yourself before you got to go and get your stream up and running.
If you want to, I know I'm going to be competing with you today at 9 o'clock. But if you want to watch some more Car Soccer City, I've got Acid Rain versus Red Lotus in the Elite series of Car Soccer City. So, they Acid Rain. I casted them the last couple of weeks. They were undefeated last week when I casted them, but this week they went up against another undefeated team, lost. So this is their second match of the week, looking to, at least bounce back and get one win this week. So that's my only matchup for tonight. So if you want to catch that, hop on over to my stream. Run us both at the same time, multi-stream. A lot of good Rocket League to be had all around.
Yeah,
and I just want to thank you also for having me on.
Well, of course, no problem. We had to cast together at some point in the future. So we have this. It's just call a fun reunion after what happened yesterday with your stream and your match getting canceled.
Yeah.
But for me, we actually have some more news as well later tonight. We actually have 2 matches coming later tonight. We're only gonna have one with FC Carcelona versus Team Evo Academy, but we just got booked by Galactic, Nebula, and Affinity Reborn for the Black Line Championship Series, or I should really say the Black Line Grand Series or Grand Circuit. Later tonight, but again, our next match, FC Carcelona taking on Team Evo Academy, part of the Ascend Tournament Series, and well, again, thank you all so much for joining for that match. We're gonna go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll be seeing Apex Cup action with these 2 incredible sides. I muted myself. Welcome back to Somebody's Stream, everybody. Nice to see you all here. We've got some action from the Apex Cup of the Ascend Tournament Series. Here, everybody. Again, pause on that. Haven't done that in a while. I accidentally muted myself before going into one of these matchups, but yeah. As I mentioned, Apex Cup action here. The GC1, GC2 division here with Team Evo Academy and FC Carcelona. Hang on, we've seen FCC on the stream a ton already. So I don't think I really need to introduce them all that much, except to say they're undefeated for a reason. This team's pretty solid, although they did make some changes. They added in Ionic, Waffle, and Bass to their roster. So now a 5-player roster here. So they've undergone some changes on the other side for Team Evo. They'll recognize Seth Plum, they'll recognize Philly, and you'll probably recognize a lot of these players. A lot of them have been on the stream already. Surprising to see them in this position, as well as we'll get this series hopefully up and running as soon as we can. Again, for FC Carcelona, making some changes since we last saw them, which was who did they play last on the stream? When they played Hunter x Cosmos? No, it wasn't. Might have been Hunter x Cosmos. Anyways, again, they made some changes. They got rid of Taz specifically on their roster. So again, this team undergoing some changes, but take on Team Evo. They're in a really good position right now. They're the top team in their group. Again, a 4-0 record. The next best team is actually Hunter x Cosmos at 2-2. So for FC Carcelona, a win here, I believe, will... again, they have to play, I believe, I want to say 6 matches this season, but I believe it's 7. It's 7. They got to play 7 matches this season. But he played 4 of them. So if they win here, their weakest they could be would be 5-2. And they'll guarantee themselves a pretty good spot and probably a place in that final bracket. And the top team here, the best team out of each group, will get to go to the playoff bracket. On the other side, Team Evo, they're in a different group, and they're struggling. They're at a 1-3 record. They're struggling to get positioning into that final bracket of this tournament. Again, a 1-3 record. They're in a group that's a little bit different. And the season has been a little bit tougher here, as they're on tonight. Well, again, we'll have Galactic, Nebula taking on Affinity, Reborn in the final match of the night. But for now, we got FC Carcelona, Team Evo Academy for a best of 5 series, and part of the Ascend Tournament Series, Apex Cup. For FC Carcelona and Team Evo, again, making a lot of roster changes recently to look to be, again, try to build themselves up, especially for the playoffs, where, you know, set dates, set times, these teams have to be ready quite quickly. Get these teams in as soon as we can, but a match like this definitely a good amount of pressure on these sides. I mean, you can't really blame them for that, with again how scary so many of these matches have been at times. And like, even again for Team Evo 1-3 record, they've been in a rough situation. But for FC Carcelona, again, a 4-0 record, but it's not like it's been easy for them. They've definitely not had easy matchups, although, and they've also been off for a little bit. Their last week was a forfeit win over Katana Esports, so they have had to wait a little bit for updates about their series. And we'll definitely see kind of how these teams play here. But again, FC Carcelona, led by Alyssa, aka Dakri, who has been in the stream a ton again for FC Carcelona now. We saw them make it into the top 8, most recently ATS Legends Cup. Again, this team has been solid. Team Evo, Philly specifically, was on the Team Evo side that made it to the top 8. Team Evo Thunder, I believe. So, yeah, high-level player, definitely deserves to be a kind of a player to shout out because he's solid. This guy is high-ranked. He definitely is scary. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see Philly here tonight for, you know, his first time on Team Evo Academy, albeit not his first time on a Team Evo side, and probably not his last time either. With this guy basically being on this org. I haven't been on this org ever since he's first been on the stream. But we'll get these teams in as soon as we can here. That production poll should be live. Yeah, it is. That production poll is live. So vote for who you think will take this one, FC Carcelona or Team Evo Academy. As again, we'll wait on these teams to get on in the lobby as soon as we can, because as soon as they're here, we'll be getting the series started. What a series it will be. I'm hopeful it will be exciting. Just trying to get things sorted out here. There again, these teams come in. Again, this is that GC1, GC2 level. FC Carcelona definitely that GC2 level. Team Evo Academy also around that GC2 level, although again, they've just made roster changes. So we'll see how that helps this team out. It should help them. They've added in Retro and Philly. Those are very high level players, so in theory, they should be stronger this week. Although, with how little time they've had to get used to these players, I'm still a little bit worried for them. I guess you could say the same thing about FC Carcelona. They're going to be playing with a completely new roster this week as well. Wait for them to show up here tonight. As again, we're just getting right up to that match start time. I'll match the best of 5 here, so again, we'll see how it goes. It should be pretty fun to see both these teams play. Whereas, if you are joining in, saying hi, hello, I see you, I'm Spotty FC. You've joined the right place to watch some great Rocket League action. Earlier tonight, we had Brambo join us to see New Age Tempest VO sweep Phantom Esports on this stream. So, again, to start off our day with Car Soccer City at match, which we haven't seen before today, so it'll be fun to see that. Again, just waiting on these teams. As soon as they're here, we'll be good to go. I'm assuming both of them just doing some warm-ups, because that's what teams at this level do. They do a lot of warm-ups and a lot of scrims before matches. We'll get to see that. Here, as joining us is Geo, Ass, and DRZ. I'm trying to see if maybe that's a... DRZ, is that... Who is that? Is that Ionic? I must be... A prediction? Oh, but again, we'll see how these teams predict here. Again, there's a huge vote there. You guys can vote right now. It's Dacry. As... Okay, DRZ, that's Dacry. I'm a bit, I don't know why I didn't see the D and thought, oh, it's Dacry, or Alyssa. We're gonna call her Alyssa. She goes by Alyssa this season. As on the other side again, it's Leopard, Risky, and Retro joining in, so... Evo Academy with their players in the lobby. Getting ready for what a good series this should be. As again, these teams have a little fun. I'll let them chat a little bit while they get things sorted out. I think these players still need a little bit of time, but maybe give them another minute and get things going. For this best of 5. Yeah, these teams are ready, so let's get ourselves into this. The best of 5 series, it's FC Carcelona, an undefeated record on the blue. Team Evo Academy on the orange, who are looking to try to make their playoff chances for themselves. Whereas for, again, FC Carcelona already secured a spot, at least in the wild card. But obviously, you want the #1 overall seed. You want to just skip that wild card entirely. Well, wins against these teams will definitely allow you to advance that way. Why not do it through an undefeated season? It's pretty tough to do that. We've already seen one team guarantee themselves an undefeated season in ODU Monarchs Silver. That team won the Skybird Series and then immediately came into this league and is looking to win here as well. FC Carcelona looking to repeat that, although for them, their final weeks are not full of forfeit wins. Their weeks are full of a lot of matches, but this should not be one of the scarier ones on their list. Team Evo Academy, while they have made changes, still kind of in a state of limbo, still trying to get an idea of what their roster is going to be like going to playoffs, because so far this season, it has just not been there. Not been good enough, and you still get the sense, even at the start of this game, you're already seeing a lot of double commits from Team Evo on plays on offense, and it's not going to help them, but this side for FC Carcelona, again, adding in Bass this week, make things a little bit more different for them as Leopard off a back wall, this one cleared away. No goals yet, but that should be pretty expected in FC Carcelona matches that we've seen already. This team just doesn't score a ton. And they generally keep things really close, and it benefits them to keep things close. They definitely win closer matches just through the fact that they are, as a team, are pretty clutch and pretty well kept together. They don't generally panic too often. It does lead to a lot of their matches being ones where they don't really pull away from opponents, which can definitely make things tougher. As Alyssa, we get the dunk on Risky. Now a touchdown for Retro, that one going wide of the net. FC Carcelona will keep the ball away. Bass. Back in by Leopard. Geo to hit it out, and already FC Barcelona getting a sense of how Team Evo plays. And again, this team, so midfield based, they're going to find a lot of passes, especially when you got a player like Philly. He's very pass-oriented, especially Lepid as well. Also very pass-oriented. It's going to become an issue for FC Barcelona. They've got to be able to predict these passes quite quickly, and no easy feat with, again, a Team Evo side that's only learning more about each other every single game. There's this one continuing. Retro. Alyssa was almost there to get that dunk, but FC Carcelona with the clear away is Gio trying to send it back in, but again, it's just stopped here, and you still get the sense that it's, again, a midfield battle. It's going to be close. As Risky will put that one in from an infield pass. Team Evo Academy with goal number 1 in this series, and it really came out of nowhere. I did not think Retro and Risky would find that spacing there, because FC Barcelona covered the back wall quite well. But I guess they weren't ready for that play, and it's goal 1 to Team Evo. Look to try to turn their season around here in week... Oh, I don't even have the overlay correct. I gotta fix that. Here in week number 5. FC Carcelona looking to answer back with Bass. The flip resets. He cleared away by Risky as Alyssa, or Dakri. You'll hear me use both sometimes. Unable to find much on offense, and those times when FC Carcelona are stuck in these positions, you see Gio really lead his team forward, but right now, haven't seen much of leadership from anybody on FC Carcelona. Again, maybe they themselves are also learning to get used to this, again, newer roster, with Bass being their most recent addition. Speaking of Bass, he'll be the one to get the 50, but it's Team Evo who'll clear the ball away. Risky. Challenged by Alyssa. Retro. Off the sidewall, and it's FC Carcelona who are just waiting right now. There's one in the midfield. Risky. Beaten by Bass now. Off the sidewall, it still will be Alyssa with it, who will leave the ball to Gio, and Gio will shoot, but Retro will keep it out, and FC Carcelona right now keeping themselves up with Team Evo, but not actually getting offense from it. There's definitely a difference between both these sides. Should be no surprise to see FC Carcelona keeping up with teams, but it is a surprise to see them not actually get nearly as much offense as they usually do. Evo's just done really well at finding these plays and keeping the ball exceptionally close, sending FC Barcelona into these 50-50s. They're playing the same play style FC Barcelona is. That right now, they're winning a lot more of the challenges. FC Barcelona, who need to find some space upfield, space that they just aren't getting. As a redirect in for Retro, Gio will block him out, and he's got space to work with. 1-on-1, now 1-on-2, but Risky will be there early. And FC Barcelona again just flat-footed on offense. Nothing is finding that net. And as they continue to search downfield, nothing will be finding that net. Their playstyle just a bit too slow to act and just isn't finding the connections we know this team has done before. As Bass, on the back wall from Gio, in front for Alyssa, but no shot will come, and time running out for FC Carcelona. They've got to score one late here. As Team Evo Academy look to maybe make an upset that would definitely ring true in this league. Definitely on the right track here, starting off in Game 1 here, and again, the Ascent Tournament Series, I'll fix the overlay as soon as this game is over. FC Carcelona keeping the ball up, and they actually might get some chances upfield here as Gio leaves the ball for Bass. He'll have the dribble, the flick, pass Retro, Risky, already with the beats, and Evo Academy will let Game 1 end here, or maybe they won't, because Lepid's still going, this time in front, but it will eventually hit the ground. Team Evo Academy with the first game of the series, a 1-0 difference. Now, it was just a lack of offense from FC Carcelona, only 3 shots for this side. And just Alyssa specifically really not all that involved, and again, such a rarity to see this team in FC Carcelona, who isn't known for offense particularly, but definitely isn't you know, ones to be afraid of offense. Surprising to see them not have nearly as much plays upfield as you would expect them to. We've seen them so often in the past just score at will. And while, again, their games are usually pretty close, Evo Academy might be able to find a little bit more on the defensive side that really is just shutting down FC Barcelona's offense. Going to game number 2. A series for FC Carcelona, they would hate this to be the first series of the season they lose. Especially against Team Evo side that has had issues all season long. They aren't even in the top 5 teams in their group that would be going to the playoffs. I should really say the top 3 as this one flip reset. Almost got in, but really kept out by Alyssa, who now go the other way. Quick attack for FC Carcelona, looking for their first goal of the series. Bass, jumping, shooting, and the bump in the net will keep this one in front. Retro gets there off that play. And some creativity for FC Carcelona. Still won't break free. Team Evo continuing the challenge forward. As Retro won't have it. Risky, challenged by Bass. As FC Carcelona, once again on offense, becoming a lot more demo-heavy, a different style of offense. And one that they're hoping will break through Team Evo. Maybe even a bit more literally, as passing across Alyssa, saved by Risky. Team Evo Academy continue to keep their neat clean for now. And this has been some incredible goal line stands because I did not expect this from this side. As FC Carcelona getting better and better on offense, still Team Evo getting better and better on defense, keeping them out. As the raid came in from Corporal Monkey Shines. Welcome in, Corporal Monkey Shines. Hopefully you're doing well. You joined in time to see what is game 2 of this series between FC Carcelona and Team Evo Academy. Team Evo, one game closer, trying to make what would be quite an incredible upset for a team that has just made a couple of roster changes. FC Carcelona, for themselves, they've also made some changes, and they're just not looking the same on offense. This Team Evo side shutting them out quite well with these really well-placed challenges and touches. They aren't feeling pressured by FC Carcelona. Really, that offense from FC Carcelona is hampered because of it. As in front, Bass dunks by Leopard, but he will keep the ball away here as Team Evo's got another chance to shoot by Retro! And that's going to fall in! Some carelessness from, I believe it was Alyssa in the corner. Oh yeah, it was. She went for the boost instead of the ball there, and that's going to cost her team. Retro with a free shot. From that range, he's definitely going to make it tough. Or in this case, he will score. Team Evo, a 1-goal lead, just how they had it last game. Just like last game, it really doesn't feel like FC Carcelona have much to say about it on offense. As another one will fall in. Retro off the corner. It's Team Evo who, again, just challenging here, catching FC Carcelona stuck in their own corner. And they're looking to make what would be quite the upset this season. In a team that has some new changes, some new additions. The playstyle that is just suffocating FC Carcelona's offense. FC Carcelona, again, a team that usually does so well at, being able to be the better team in close matchups. They're not finding any such a control here in this matchup as Team Evo, again, doing so well, just keeping the ball close and then challenging and forcing FC Carcelona to jump at the ball. FC Carcelona, a team that's willing to challenge, and you're seeing Team Evo really have a playstyle that just counters that so well. FC Carcelona's offense has been, well, not there this series. They're looking for their first goal as well, in fact, here in this best of 5. Team Evo will look to keep them out, but a challenge from Bass saved by Leopard as he'll wait on his goal line for safety, and Team Evo will eventually get this ball out again. Another offensive play for FC Carcelona that really ends up with nothing. Team Evo who continue to really prevent them from getting all that many chances upfield and making them count. Again, if there's anybody to really step up, so often it's Gio who can do it. Now, no space, no room to work with. And FC Carcelona's offense has been, well, it's had its issues before in the season, being able to prove themselves, but I'm asking against a team that has such a good defense, it's making it even tougher as Retro with a double tap. Took his time with that one, too. I mean, you can just see this ball hanging in the air. Retro knows where to put it every single time, and he gets it past Gio and into the back of the net. As Team Evo Academy only adding more to the offense here. It was a 1-0 difference game 1. Here in game 2, it might be even more as Gio looks to get a double tap of his own. That will go wide as a 4th goal by Retro. Another time where Alyssa caught in the corner. This time it's the off. Oh, not even Alyssa. Oh, it was a miss in the corner, but Bass as well caught in the corner. This game 2 going the exact wrong direction for FC Carcelona. Team Evo Academy just playing better and better Again, that's their defense that's keeping FC Carcelona out. Look for another goal and a demo on Alyssa. That's going to make it happen. Retro, he scored all the goals so far. On his 6 shots, he's got 5 goals. Retro, one of the new additions for Team Evo. Adding some offense that this team desperately needed this season. They're just continuing to do it here. As missed there from Risky. Lepid almost made it 6. This way for Team Evo. I feel like this game might be nearing its end here. We're seeing Team Evo in an even better position than they were after Game 1, and looking even better than they were in Game 1, because they're just looking better as Lepid. Oh, that's a bit of a whiff on the open net there. Again, probably should be 6-0 at this point for Team Evo, but they're leading 5-0. They don't really have to score at this point. But what they are looking to do is keep FC Carcelona from scoring, and they prevented this team from scoring already this series. And they still haven't given FC Carcelona any goals up. And to keep it this way, definitely going to put a real damper on FC Carcelona. Again, a team that has so far had good offensive chances. They haven't been able to score. Team Evo's defense has only improved with every single game. And their offense, their midfield, definitely allowing their defense to not have that many chances of scariness against them. But even when FC Carcelona do get plays upfield, they don't really find the net as Gio. Here's a chance for himself. Risky bumps Gio to leave it for Bass, and that one saved by Retro. As Team Evo will keep the shutout and will end Game 2 with it, a 5-0 win. FC Carcelona still kept out from scoring. Momentum going against them here. Team Evo and making some roster changes, and that seems to maybe have made a difference for them. Retro, the embodiment of the offense for this side. As we'll head into game number 3 with, again, Team Evo's defense really stepping up the series. I mean, giving up 0 goals, that is quite impressive, with the fact of the matter is FC Carcelona had 11 shots this game. So, whatever it is that's keeping FC Carcelona out, they're going to continue doing it. I mean, you don't make 11 saves. Retro's got 6 saves. Alright, maybe it's just Retro who took over this game. I mean, dude did have 5 goals and 6 saves, so whatever Retro did this game, I don't know if he's going to do it again, but Team Evo definitely put in a good position. Even if he didn't play this well, I still think this team was the far better side when it came to that offense, although we'll have to continue it here in Game 3, and FC Carcelona look like a team, if they can shut down Retro, I don't think there's much else for Team Evo that they can really hold on to. As we go into game number 3, it's Team Evo who look one game away from, or be giving FC Carcelona their first loss of the season. Addition of Retro coming in handy for Team Evo. FC Carcelona, their addition in Bass still hasn't really made a name for himself this series. It really is FC Carcelona just looking for some offensive chances and some goals with it too. It's Team Evo continue to keep them away, as an infield pass to Lepid will be kept out, and it will be Alyssa to prevent any secondary chances from Risky. Risky, Lepid, both of them have been in this league for quite a while. This FC Carcelona team completely new. This is their first time in this league, and Team Evo, again, it's a side full of veterans, full of players who have been here before and have actually, in Risky's chance, won championships in past tournaments. Specifically, he was the MVP on Team Evo when they won the Black Lotus Fall Open. So again, he's definitely a guy who knows what it's to be like at every stage of the competition. I think if there's anybody that this team needed to win, it would be him. Although I don't even know if they expected this series to go their way. Still, they need one more game. This series not over just yet. If anything about last game tells you anything about FC Carcelona, they have every chance to come back, and that's really got to go in from Gio, an open net in front of him. Did so well to get the demo as well. But they will end up empty-handed here on the side of FC Carcelona. Lepid, dunked by Gio. Still creating the offense as Alyssa to shoot that one! And it's FC Carcelona, their first goal of the series. It comes midway through Game 3 as another aggressive challenge from Gio, this time with nobody back from Team Evo to keep him out. And it's Alyssa with an open net to shoot at, and, well, she'll put it in for FC Carcelona's first of the series. We'll need another one as that chance from Bass. Just tipped away by Retro, who again is standing on his head this game. And I must say for Team Evo, if they want to be successful anyway, they can't just have Retro doing all the work for them. And I've really got to see a lot more from Leopard. He has just been completely silent. And it feels like he's really been waiting a lot just to let Retro do everything. And you just, again, can't rely on that to be consistent for your team. I mean, last game was an incredible performance. Retro, even for Retro's abilities. Seen them before, we know how good this guy can be. Team Evo, they want to have any, success here in Game 3. It's going to be coming from at least somebody else not named Retro, as Leopard, that play just going wide of the net. Evo still keeping the ball here as an infield play. Not caught by Gio, it's Retro. One-on-one with Alyssa, the 50, under and in. Team Evo, keep it up here, Retro. Taking advantage of the whiff from Gio. With Alyssa all alone, he'll delay the 50-50 and win that challenge. Team Evo in their +1 match, the match they could have scheduled at any point this season. I'll be happy they scheduled it after these roster changes, because if it had been before then, I don't know how much chances they would have had taking down FC Carcelona. Still though, I don't think they can be all that confident yet in this series. As I said before, far from over. They still need at least one more goal to even have a chance of taking it here. As FC Carcelona look poised to make that reverse sweep, or at least start it here in Game 3. Bump comes across, risky. Click there, won't happen as Alyssa will be waiting for it. Won't get a demo on Retro, but I don't think she really will need to, as Team Evo, who panics in the midfield just to clear that ball out. FC Carcelona, once again, just not keeping the ball close to themselves here. These touches, just heavy touches, trying to see if they can outplay Team Evo. We're just clearing the ball upfield, and then Team Evo is waiting for those plays, waiting for those opportunities, and they're just sending it right back. A lot more intention, a lot more ideas of finding each other waiting. As they'll need to get this one out, but they missed! It's Gio! About as easy as an end as it can be for him, and Team Evil here really did not make this touch look easy for themselves, as Risky overshot it. Not an easy play for a player in his position, but it's one you expect someone at his skill level to get to. And it's FC Carcelona who, again, look to make that reverse sweep. Still got a lot more to go through. Off the corner, Leopard. Kept away by Bass, Risky. This one hitting in the corner. Team Evo Academy. The only team from the Team Evo org in this Apex Cup. Looking to make their org proud, but it's FC Carcelona who will continue to put on the goals, and Gio this game stepping up on the offensive shooting. It's him who's been scoring a lot of the goals so far. It's Team Evo who, well, will give up another goal to Alyssa, but also probably just have to give up this game and any chance they had at taking the series in a sweep. This is definitely a much more normalized game when it comes to how Team Evo plays when Retro isn't playing insane. And, well, I will say it's a bit maybe distorted out of proportions here. I think it would be pretty close. Again, I'm worried for Leopard and Risky's involvement, because it just feels like a lot of the series has been them just waiting on Retro to be the one leading, and well, Retro can definitely do that. It's, again, not consistent. It's definitely not a playstyle you want to rely on against teams like FC Carcelona, who do have a pretty strong level of consistency. And there's two ways Team Evo can take this one. Either they try to find a way for Retro to have another game like he did in Game 2, where he just dominated the field, or instead find find Risky and Leopard a little bit more involvement, get them more involved at getting to the ball in time, and putting in good challenges. This game saw that really fall apart for both Retro and for both Leopard and Risky, and while Retro will score an late goal here, I don't think it's going to make a difference this game. FC Carcelona will look to start their reverse sweep here as Team Evo. It's them who are struggling to, again, have more involvement. As the series continues onward, will Retro look for one more goal at 0 seconds? He won't get it, Leopard won't either, but it doesn't make a difference even if they did score or not. It's FC Carcelona. Take game 4, will keep the series going, and will hope to keep their undefeated run alive with a reverse sweep. They have never gone to game 5 yet this season. But they'll have to do it here. This will have to be their first if they are willing to continue to take these games. As their offense, again, showing up here with the vast majority of the shots. And unlike in game 2, Retro not showing up on the other side. To be fair, with how he played in that second game, I don't think you can really blame him for not being able to recreate that. It's FC Carcelona. It's them who can respond back. It's them who can 100% take this series. I mean, this team, there's some teams in this league that are good enough that you can never count them out, and this is one of them as Retro finds Risky! And it's Team Evo who looked to shut me up. A goal inside the first 30 seconds. And again, it's Retro who's in the middle of it. Once he is activated, Team Evo Academy cannot stop. And game 4, with game 3 kind of behind them now. Against the undefeated side, we've already seen an undefeated team already this week in Evolve Skylight in the Rocket League Splash Series lose a match. So maybe this week is just a week of undefeated teams losing their streaks. We'll see if it happens here to FC Carcelona already. The Team Evo on a good path to do it, but an answer from Gio will bounce off the crossbar and down. This game, far from over, as Gio makes it plainly aware there. As FC Carcelona starting to get Gio his voice, and well, I've mentioned that they aren't teams that are, they aren't a team that needs to have Gio be that talker. He usually is. Often he loves to be that leader, that goal scorer, and on the side he generally finds that success. So often though, he's so selfish as well. He can, him and Alyssa have some great chemistry, and for a lot of this season, a lot of these goals that have been created have not been from Gio, it's from Alyssa, but it so often involves Gio's involvement as pass with a fake there. Maybe allowing FC Carcelona some more room, but his touch will be easily cleared away by Risky. And in fact, he'll look for the dunk to keep Gio away. Team Evo, once again pushing on the offense, but play dying down. Shots still coming in here as that play just a little wide of the net. Alyssa forced to challenge and do some very strange positions, but she will keep it out, and it's going to be FC Carcelona who can push the ball up again, but the touches from them are just so heavy. So clear-based, and it's just not easy as Leopard. Oh my goodness. What a double tap. That's going to give some confidence Team Evo off the ceiling too. And he puts the flip on it, adds some extra pace. Leopard has fell dormant last game, but this game, definitely not with that shot. Wow, Team Evo really do want this series after all. FC Carcelona waiting on it. Leopard to shoot it. Alyssa will save, and with, again, still almost 3 minutes to go. Well, that goal from Team Evo was great. It still hasn't stopped FC Carcelona from their usual playstyle, their usual confidence, and they're going to find a goal from it too! Off the double whiff! Gio has an open net to look at. And FC Carcelona will keep it going. Right up, almost halfway through. FC Carcelona, once again, as they usually do in these matches, keep it exceptionally close. Against Team Evo, who has been a pain for them in those first couple games. They're finding a lot more success and a lot more ball control. Again, this Team Evo side can't rely on Retro anymore. He's been solid for them in those first 2 games, but it's up to the team as a whole to complete the series. As we're seeing, Leopard may be the one that's stepping up What about Risky? Haven't seen too much involvement from him when it comes to the offense, and while he doesn't need to be exceptionally involved to make plays happen, you do feel like for what they're trying to go for here in Team Evo, it would be in their best interest to get him upfield and to get him more time on offense. Maybe that's why they're letting him have the dribble here. But a pass to Leopard! And there it is! As soon as I mention him, Risky gets the assist. Finds Leopard waiting midfield, and Leopard knows where to put that shot. Team Evo, again, in the lead. Just impressive so far. From what we have seen from FC, Carcelona, and Team Evo. It is Team Evo are just a little bit better right now. Are getting themselves always one step ahead. No, they never have gotten an insurance lead this game, 2 or more goals. This is a good chance for it as Risky. Off the back wall, cleared away by Alyssa. As Bass, oh, he won't get to this one easily, and that's nearly an own goal for him, but keeps it close around the corner. Allen's with Retro. As Risky. Second touch will be sent away by Alyssa. Gio to the back wall. Bass is already up, but he won't be able to tuck it under as Retro will be there. And now Risky, the other way, has boost to work with, but he doesn't have a shot. FC Carcelona scrambling just to get back. I mean, you can feel and see that pressure this team is under as time is running out. Now Bass, up the field. Team Evo, keeping the ball close, and now they'll flick it away. Retro to go for goal, but Alyssa will wait there. And for Team Evo, they're 30 seconds away from handing FC Carcelona their first loss of the season. A team that has been so strong so far this series, or really I should say this season, this series was not their strong point. FC Carcelona meeting a team who's just got defense to match what they are want to go for. But they will still have a chance. Gio's kept away by Retro. And now Bass towards the goal. Risky. Double commit with Leopard. Alyssa to the corner. A second touch won't have it. Bass won't keep it alive. And Team Evo Academy will take the series and will force FC Carcelona to take their first loss of the season. What an upset. Another undefeated side this week, getting a team that just matches them perfectly. Team Evo with some incredibly good defense. And the new addition of Retro led charge. I was a little worried with how much he was involved in that series, but you can't fault them for how well they were playing. And those new changes for Team Evo working well for FC Carcelona. Maybe they just need a little bit more time to get used to each other. As we'll close that prediction poll for you guys. Team Evo Academy do take this one. Again, an unexpected win. As we'll go back to this little main screen here. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. What a win. That came out of left field. That was not expected. I've seen this FC Carcelona team a lot this season. This was not their strongest moments, but for Team Evo, man, their playstyle was just beautiful. Again, it was a rougher match for them, but again, you get the sense that these new rosters are just trying to get used to each other. And for FC Barcelona, yeah, it just so happened that it also came into a series, and it didn't look so good for them. As if we take a look at our schedule, our last match tonight actually will be Galactic Nebula versus Affinity Reborn. We'll be seeing that series very, very soon, but for now, just gotta mention again, a great series there. So far, the orange side has been winning all night, and the orange side is favored to win that next match with Affinity Reborn, so as again a 3-1 victory. There, we're getting some matches, but for now, we have again our next year's Affinity Reborn, as I mentioned, taking on Galactic Nebula. And that is actually the Galactic team that used to be known as Galactic Cosmos, this Coop's team. So again, we'll see. As we're actually getting a message from Team Evil. They actually want an interview, so we'll get them here. So we'll get them in here as soon as we can for a little match interview, if they are joining. Hopefully they will be. We'll give them like another minute. If they don't join, I'm just gonna go to a break here. But what a win, a huge upset. And for Team Evo, minor, not even just a big upset for them. For them, it's a big series in general because again, they were not in the playoffs. That situation, they're considered the best team, I believe, out of their group. So yeah, they're team number 4. So you need to be the top 3 to make it at least to the wild card. So for them, this is a big victory over FC Carcelona. And joining us here is Leopard, Retro, and Risky, a 3-1 win over FC Carcelona. The first time this team has lost this season. You guys making some changes have definitely been able to bring it back. And Risky, how good does it feel for a team that has struggled this season to get a win like that? Must be a huge deal.
Yeah, I think when the pressure's on, we kind of knew that this was we had to win this game. We had a lot of struggles during the season. Obviously, we're not in the place that we want to be, but this is just the first step. I think if we can beat these guys, we can beat anybody. So I'm just excited for the rest of the games.
Yeah, being that representation from Team Evo, I mean, again, you say it there, with confidence, knowing again that this team has had these issues, been here through all of it. Also being here through all of it is Leopard. This team made some roster changes recently, Retro being one of them. Obviously, we know why you guys made those changes. With the 1v record coming into this match, it was pretty clear why you guys made changes. But specifically, Retro being added in, it felt like there was a new wave of offense. Was that kind of the idea you're going for when you added in Retro? Was to get some offense into your side?
Kind of, but like we added him because Stoke didn't feel like playing threes anymore, so we needed like a new offensive heavy player, I guess.
Well, again, obviously Retro fit that offensive heavy style pretty well. I mean, Retro, you were everywhere. I think you were MVP in every single match you guys won. So again, you guys looked very solid throughout that series. And I believe Retro, if I'm not wrong, you're the same Retro who was wound up getting Abstract earlier this season, right?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, you were. So what is it like to move from one team to another in the exact same circuit? Because it must be weird not playing for OUG anymore.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I really enjoyed playing with my boys over there. I still have full respect to them. It's just I feel like changes needed to be made for career-wise.
And obviously, what has it been like to join Team Evo Academy here? Because again, as I said, a bit of a weird kind of change, but for you seem to fit in actually quite nicely.
In my opinion, I love playing with these guys. I think it's no offense to OUG. I think it's a little bit of an upgrade. I link better with them than I do OUG, and also I can trust them way more than I could on OUG because I was forced to stay either third or first man a lot.
Yeah, but you found that success as you guys, your season, it's not an easy end to the season. You guys are still competing for that playoff spot in your group. Your next match is going to be against Hunters Eternal, and after that, you got to play against White Lotus. So have fun. Those are some very good teams. Those are going to be some tough matches, and the playoffs on the line. Risky, especially that match against Hunters Eternal. If you can beat that team, that is going to be impressive because that team is also one of the best here. They're 4-1. Their only loss coming to ODU Monarchs. So what are you guys going to do? Because that series against Hunters Eternal, that's going to be really telling for you guys when it comes to the playoffs.
I think we're just gonna take it game by game. I mean, that's the only thing we can really do at this point. Kind of have our back against the wall a little bit, but I think we've proved today that we can definitely do it. We just gotta, come out firing like we did today.
I think our defense is going to carry through a lot, and along with our offensive pressure for the most part.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. You guys had a defense that was rock solid this series, which is not easy to do against teams like FC Carcelona. But again, congratulations on your winner. 3-1 victory, taking out FC Carcelona. The first time that any team has done that this season. So again, congrats on your win. As we're gonna go and get some shoutouts here. But before we do that, though, thank you for the raid, Brambo. Welcome in. Nice to see you. Hopefully your stream was fun. As we actually just interviewing Team Evo. They just beat FC Carcelona, and we're just going through the shoutouts at this point. So we'll start with Leopard. Do you have any shoutouts? Any final message for anybody watching the stream?
Shout out to my mom for coming out and supporting me. And all my online friends for coming in supporting, of course, the Evo players who came in and supported as well.
Of course, as now we'll move on to Retro being added to this roster. Anything that you got to say? I know again it's a weird feeling on a new team, but any shoutouts do you have? While you move teams to Evo Academy.
Shout out to. I want to say shout out to Seth Bum. He's the reason why I joined the team. I mean, it was a nice transfer.
Of course, and now we'll end things off with Risky, being a guy who's won actually in this league before. One of the very few players actually won in this in the ESN tournament series. Have anything you want to say? Any shoutouts you have as you guys continue your run for the Apex Cup playoffs?
I just want to shout out, friends and family. And yeah, I'm gonna piggyback on Retro. Shout out Seth Palm. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. Like period. So gotta give some props to him.
As you should. Again, congratulations on your win, though. Thank you so much for joining Leopard, Retro, and Risky. Congratulations on your win over FC Carcelona. Have a great rest of your night.
You
Thank
too.
you.
And there we go, Team Evo Academy with their win. And again, our next series coming up, a Blackline Championship Series matchup. Galactic, Nebula versus Affinity Reborn. So, we get Affinity Reborn on the stream. It's the Affinity Reborn team that we've seen win all over the place. So we'll see if they can do it again against Galactic Nebula, who look to make quite the upset. We're going to go to break, and when we come back, the Blackline Grand Circuit will be live. For our final match of the night, here on the sportiest stream, we've got Galactic, Nebula, and Affinity Reborn. Blackline Grand Circuit here, part of the Blackline Championship Series. It's a different thing. It's Blackline Championship Series is a bit interesting. It's a little weird to describe it, but basically, they have two divisions. They have their main division, which is what we usually see, which is their different tiers, and they have multiple championships a year. This is their Grand Circuit. This is one tournament open to any amount of teams that want to join. And this tournament is year-round with one champion at the very end of the year. Just announced their last champion only maybe a month ago, so they're getting it back up again. They're really starting their championship. That means that everybody can sign up and sign in. And there's a lot of teams that have signed up, as these are two of them, Galactic, Nebula, and Affinity Reborn. Two of the many teams that sign up, they actually are in stage 1 of the qualifiers. You've got a lot, for any new teams here, teams that haven't really made themselves known in this circuit, it's a long road to the main event. There's 2 stages to the open qualifiers. This is stage 1. Both these teams in pretty good positions. Affinity Reborn is expected to make it, though, through the upper bracket, although that mismatch gaming matchup is one that they probably won't win. But here against Galactic, Nebula, again, it's really it's a tough thing, because after this, to get into it, it's only to stage 2. The team that wins this group will stay in the upper bracket. The losers go to the lower bracket, and they've got a long run. So the open qualifiers are very long at the start of the season. They get shorter as time goes on, though, because then they start to figure out which teams are the best ones and which ones stick around. And it's definitely a tough matchup. But both these sides coming in. This is stage 1. This is the very beginning of the run of the qualifiers. And again, we're very thankful to have a match like this, because the matches like these don't come often on this stream here. And again, it's nice to see some of these qualifier matches, because very rarely do they ever get streamed. As we'll take a look at these rosters. Again, you'll recognize a lot of these players, because on Galactic, Nebula, Coop, Decky, Accent, we've seen all these players actually before. On Galactic, back on Galactic, Cosmos, which was the last team that Coop was the captain of on Affinity Reborn. Socialist Tomato, they're the same 3 players here. You play in this one for what will be a best-of-5 matchup. And what's the nice thing about this is, if you win, even though there's one more match to go in the upper bracket, even if you lose that match, you're still going to that second stage. So if all these teams care about is getting to that second stage of the qualifier, then winning this match is all they need to do. If not, you go to the lower bracket, and you've actually got to win a best-of-5 and then a best-of-7 to get there, which is no easy feat. So these teams definitely have a lot to do here, a lot to prove, because again, it's a long qualifier matchup. It is not short, that's for sure. Teams only have a lot they need to do here to be ready, because these matchups are not easy and are not meant to be easy. It is obviously the Grand Circuit. The best teams in the Blackline Championship Series do play here. And again, every team starts at the same position in that open qualifier. So again, it's a lot of matches, but it's but to to win the whole thing, that's a big deal. And I believe there is a money prize in this tournament, so that's why a lot of teams do play. That's why the circuit does matter to a lot of teams, because in the main divisions that we usually see, there's no such prize pool. There is not a prize pool, I believe, in the main divisions. There might be, but I don't remember seeing one. But I know there is one for the Grand Circuit. I have mentioned it before, so a chance for part of that prize pool, definitely something that would be enticing for both these sides. We are going to get them in the lobby next few minutes. And we'll get these teams in any moment here. Again, for the best of 5, Galactic, Nebula are the heavy underdogs. In this first stage qualifier, there's so often really interesting underdog stories, and usually they don't go very far. Again, there's a lot of rank disparity. Even with the Affinity Reborn and Mishmash, who are considered the 2 best teams in this group by a pretty decent amount. Mishmash is much better than Affinity Reborn. At least in rankings and in considerations, they're considered much better. Although, matches could be interesting, but Mishmash is considered a much better team. So, again, you see a lot of rank disparities. That usually gets less and less as you go up these divisions, but we'll see how these teams play. It's in our last match of the night here. Affinity Reborn are the heavy favorites. We've seen them on the stream a ton in the Rocket League Splash Series. They are also playing the Blackline Championship Series, part of the Champions Division. They're in the lower bracket for that right now. The Galactic Nebula, again, don't actually know if this team is playing any divisions. I would have to assume they are, but I don't know which one it would be. Being contenders this season, they actually might be in a higher division. They're not in contenders. Okay, are they in challengers? Maybe. Again, I don't know if these guys are in a division or not. They are. The Galactic Cosmos in the main division. They're in the challengers division. And for them, they're actually doing really well that season. They're in the upper bracket, so they're actually in the upper finals. So, for them, I mean, they've had a really good season. Obviously, the challengers and champions are completely different divisions, but there's a decent amount of overlap. So, this is, again, a series that I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. It's a lot closer than people think it will be. So, you definitely can't count these teams out. And we'll get them in here at any moment here. Galactic, Nebula, again with Coop, X-Sync, and Decky, Affinity Reborn, with Tomato, Soj, and Elites. And we'll get these teams in as soon as we can here. With everything starting in this open qualifier, you know, you can't disrespect teams in this level. There are some very tough matchups, so definitely, again, can't take anybody easily here. For Affinity Reborn, they have to recognize this Galactic Nebula team is solid. Again, they're one of the best teams in the Challengers division, which is the division right below them. Again, you can't underestimate how good Galactic Nebula can be. With it being a best of 5, this series could definitely turn one-sided very quickly if these teams aren't paying attention. As soon as Affinity Reborn do join, we're going to get this series started in our last match of the night. See Galactic Nebula, part of the Galactic Gaming org that, again, is mainly on the stream through the Galactic Cosmos, ironically. Obviously, Affinity Reborn being the top team for Affinity Reborn as the org. Again, it's a little weird, but Affinity Reborn is the org, it's also the main team. It's also the team that they go under, but they have two other teams they work with, Affinity Academy and Affinity Sapphire. Both of those teams we've already seen on the stream before, so again, I always like to see this Affinity Reborn side because they are such a solid aggressive side. Again, they have the advantage in this matchup. They are definitely the that's more expected to win this series, but really, whoever loses that goes to that lower bracket, they're going to be the favorites to win that lower bracket no matter what happens. So, nice thing about the situation, both these teams have a lower bracket below them that doesn't look all that scary for them, albeit you don't really want to be in that position in the first place. But these teams are both in now, so let's get this best of 5 series underway. Galactic Nebula, Coop back on the stream after a long amount of time not here, taking on Affinity Reborn in the open qualifier. Welcome back to the Black Lion Grand Circuit. Open qualifier stage 1. Once again on the stream, we're gonna get another match from the open qualifiers later this week as well. So, expecting this to not be our only view of this very interesting bracket. Galactic Nebula are on the blue, Affinity Reborn on the orange. It'll be Affinity who, at least for now, have, again, gotta maybe quell some of their fears here, because Galactic Nebula are a team that definitely is looking to play a little bit of an upset game here. And I actually think they very much have the ability to do it. Get only a division below and dominating that division in the playoff bracket. Affinity Reborn are going to have their hands full when it comes to this team here that's playing against them. As for now, Soj, we're going to clear this ball away, gets stopped by Decky. Will be Affinity Reborn to win this ball out as Elites with a massive flick, and so far a minute gone, and literally no chance for either side. A lot of boom ball in the midfield, and again, it's rare to see Affinity Reborn, you know, start off super hot. They're a team that can get super hot, but it has to take them a little bit of time, and you give them that time, and they'll find success, as Elites will take goal 1. It didn't take too long for Affinity Reborn to put in their dominance. As Soj with a bump on Decky will open up the net for Elites, and, well, with that kind of distance, he's not missing the net anytime soon. And Affinity Reborn will get off to the start they want to. As the play only continuing here by Soj, the dribble gets over Decky, but a little redirect there. Galactic Nebula's defense will be holding on for now, but you know, we're seeing this Affinity Reborn side play a lot more patiently. This team usually so eager to get on offense, but I think they recognize just how, well the Galactic Nebula is going to play to them. So they're sitting back a little bit further. They're not nearly as aggressive as usual. They're waiting a lot more. They're looking a lot more for these mistakes, for these openings. Then they choose when they want to take them. Now, Affinity Reborn. Again, finding so much success in ball control because of it, as a play in the midfield will be cleared out by Coop. Actually, not even the last time we've seen Coop and X-Sync together on a team in the Grand Circuits qualifiers. We saw them, I believe, in the qualifiers for part of last season. Or I should really say last year, since this Grand Circuit is split based on what year it starts in. Don't believe they won that match as well. Again, it's the Galactic. Coop has probably been was famous on the stream before for having a really long losing streak on this stream. He has since broken through of that streak, so we won't be seeing any impacts of that in this series. But that's a great pass from X-Sync, and Affinity Reborn had nobody back as. Oh dear, some lack of challenging there from Affinity Reborn. And again, they cannot play easy to Galactic Nebula. This side is able to play upset here against Affinity Reborn, and maybe Affinity Reborn who have to play a little more cautiously because, again, Galactic Nebula, Mishmash Gaming, these other teams definitely beat them. And I don't think Affinity Reborn wants anything to do with that as an infield play. Stop there. Tomato to take the follow-up. And it's Affinity Reborn who will take the lead again. For any of those Affinity Reborn fans who maybe were starting to worry a little bit, that should maybe quell your fears. Affinity Reborn will keep on the scoring. This game only continuing onward. As Soj, dribble will be bumped off by Decky. Blonded though is Galactic Nebula, looking for yet another goal this series, and well, they aren't going to get the majority of the chances, I don't think, in this matchup. They will definitely get enough of them. We've already seen them score on one such play down the field, so we know they have the ability to get a good amount of goals against Affinity Reborn. Right now, the way they're playing, another goal could be coming in very soon. As Coop left on the midfield, a miss from Soj, and that's going to be a Galactic Nebula again on net. X-Sync to take it, and this series, again, as I said, is one that's going to be quite close, and Affinity Reborn who just don't look comfortable right now. This pace from Galactic Nebula, I think, is quite unexpected for them. This game will continue on with, I think, a lot of Affinity Reborn fans a little bit nervous. They're expecting, again, this team has only seen dominant wins so far in the stream in the Rocket League Splash Series, so the Grand Circuit, a whole different place to be in, and a whole different level of competition. They've got to answer back as a big save from Xing off that double tap from Soj. And Affinity Reborn will have to restart from square one. Tomato. Don't get past Decky. Galactic Nebula waiting on, and a shot from Decky! We'll find the bottom corner of Affinity Reborn. Once again, just letting a bit too much space in the backfield go to Galactic Nebula, and Soj here has to challenge. There's really no other option there. If he doesn't challenge, that's what happens. If he does, he might have a better chance at slowing down Galactic Nebula from shooting. Just wastes too long, gives too much of an opening. And that's where Galactic Nebula strike. Affinity Reborn not finding that same kind of success that we've seen this team get before on this stream. Usually so, again, they're a team that does so well against defensive sides. You're not going to see that from Galactic Nebula. This team is not one that just wants to play defense. Affinity Reborn, again, are going to have a little bit more difficulties with that because you're seeing this Galactic Nebula side coming with the confidence. They recognize, again, they're playing upset in this matchup, but they have every reason to take it. Right now in game one, they're the team in the lead, but Soj setting up the offense again with Affinity Reborn to try to capture this game back in their grasp. Galactic Nebula wasting time off the clock, but Elites send it downfield and we'll keep Galactic Nebula back for now. Here he goes again. Still it's Coop with all the boost he had left to clear this one away. Soj back in. X-Sync off the ceiling, but Tomato is waiting. And a big demo! Coop won't get to it! And an Affinity Reborn inside the final 10 seconds. Adding a little bit of drama to this game one as a demo rang out against Decky. Left that left side open. That's exactly where the ball will end up. In Affinity Reborn's favor. This game 1, hotly contested. Affinity Reborn and Galactic Nebula, you really can't decide which one deserves this game more. They both have equally put their efforts in for it. And this match definitely expected to be relatively close, and I hope these teams doing well to play that way, but someone's gonna win this game here in this OT. Affinity Reborn and Galactic Nebula both showing some very wide displays of confidence. I think we're seeing it wane sometimes here for Affinity Reborn, who are relying a lot more on the demos, a lot more on just these kind of one-time opportunities, these dribbles and these solo plays. Like to Nebula, you can see a lot more passing and a lot more controlled chaos as air plays off the back wall won't startle Affinity Reborn. Soj. And actually, I didn't feel for Coop, and that could have been a great opportunity for him. And again, Affinity Reborn just not ready for this quick Galactic Nebula midfield presence. Again, you get the sense that Affinity Reborn are overcommitting by their own intentions. They must not have expected Galactic Nebula to be so quick in response. Weakness for Affinity Reborn that you don't really get to see often from this team. They're usually, again, so dominant in their matches. Overcommits, though, definitely proved to be a disastrous consequence because we have not seen such commits from Galactic Nebula. They've been a lot more controlled at not sending everybody upfield. And you get a bit more sense of carefreeness from Galactic Nebula in that sense, where they aren't nearly as annoyed with how this game is going. Giving them a lot of success in finding these plays through the midfield as they'll challenge again. Soju won't have a good touch on it, but he does keep up with it. Affinity Reborn will have the ball away as Elites off the ceiling will give this one for himself. Nobody challenging here, and Galactic Nebula waiting dangerously on the goal line. You don't really want to see teams sitting there for those shots. At a flat-footedness for Galactic Nebula that is a bit dangerous. But they'll hold on for now. There's over 2 minutes in this OT. We haven't seen an OT this long in quite a while, but it's going to end right here as a demo again for Affinity Reborn, sneaking their way past the back lines. And it is Soj on the end of it. He just gives Elite so much of a net to look at. Over 2 minutes of OT, and it is Affinity Reborn who will start off in their favor. Game 1 is theirs, and it's, again, best of 5 series. They look to try to see if they can regain a little bit of confidence going into game 2. Just look at the shots they had, though. 17-4. Galactic Nebula, again, just did so well at forcing Affinity Reborn to get so annoyed, so frustrated. They sent more players upfield than they needed to. That's where these overcommits came through, and that's where Galactic Nebula struck. Affinity Reborn, they had much more when it came to shooting, but they just didn't have more when it came to offense and offensive output. Going into game 2, they're going to look to try to change things around, but it won't start off that way as Deki will slide that one to the bottom right corner. Once again, Affinity Reborn caught overcommitting as Tomato there. Did not see X-Sync, and for the time he was ready for it, it came far too late. This game starting in favor for Galactic Nebula. As a clear away, Coop has missed it! And that one nearly on target, but it will stay wide, but this one's in for Soj. Oh, no, it's not! Somebody got back there for Galactic Nebula. And I thought that was surely going to be the tie game for Affinity Reborn. They must have thought the same way too. But another demo, this net's open as well, but once again, Soj with a lackluster effort towards the nets, and you really think they got to tie this game up at this point with the kind of offensive chances they're getting. Affinity Reborn are squandering opportunities. It is one of those unfortunate situations for them, but they've got to find ways to score here. As a little fake from Soj will force Coop to give the ball away. Elites, a flick, stopped by Deki as X-Sync also jumping for it. Bit of jumpiness from Galactic Nebula here. Brings some, I think, some strain on that defense. They know that this Affinity Reborn team is going to shoot a lot against them. Deal with it. They're jumping up pretty early. Try to make these saves. So far, so good for Galactic Nebula here in Game 2, although Affinity Reborn reads a lot like how game 1 went, where they really didn't score until later on in the game. Then you get to that point where over Affinity Reborn starts to really become quite a possible option here for them. Now, last game, they will want nothing more than just take a couple goals here, make this game a little easier for themselves, but there's no such thing as an easy matchup in this qualifying system, especially between these teams, as a big clear from coast to coast. Soj will put it in the back of the net. And Affinity Reborn, out of nowhere, really. Just a long clear from Soj. I mean, that's on his own goal line as well. I don't know if he expected that to go in, but he'll be happy it did. Affinity Reborn, again, I said a goal from them. Seems likely, and it happens. Now, with that goal in hand, confidence come back for them. Galactic Nebula looking to try to up their scoring a little bit this series, and that might be a chance, as a miss from Elites nearly gifted Galactic Nebula what would have been the go-ahead goal this game. Decky now, dropped down, saved by Elites. It's Affinity Reborn, panicking on defense, off the corner. Elites in front, will be met by Coop, but he knows where that ball is going. He'll 50 hits away from the danger. Affinity Reborn will recollect themselves here as they'll try to control this ball out of defense, but another giveaway chance, and Soj won't get to it, but Elites will. These chances falling through for Galactic. At some point, you've got to think they're going to score on one of these. Affinity Reborn have not done very well at keeping them out. They've done just enough, but I'll be honest, it really didn't look convincing from Affinity Reborn on defense. And here we go again. It's Exig to the net. He's got him. And it's Galactic Nebula who once again are catching Affinity Reborn at the wrong position. Soj moved up as if he was going to challenge that. And he was never going to even get close to that play. And it's Exig will put the power behind that play and allow Galactic Nebula to once again take a 1-goal lead. Affinity Reborn, again, just issues on the rotation, really hurting their chances as they've really struggled a lot more on the offense this game, which was the only reason they stayed in game 1. Without that, they're going to struggle here against Galactic Nebula. As Soj, the corner, infield pop, it's Tomato, dunked away by Decky. As Affinity Reborn again overcommitting, and again won't get to these shots. It's X-Sync once again. Galactic Nebula. And it looks like they're going to steal game 2 here, because Affinity Reborn have once again not respected them here on these midfield plays, and these challenges from Affinity Reborn are just not coming at the right time. They're too hesitant, they're too far back, and they're too out of the way of the play. Just see an Affinity Reborn team that is completely different from what we usually see from this side. Usually Affinity Reborn is so good at being a team that's so... that is so good at not making mistakes, at being absolutely perfect when it comes to these plays. But they haven't found it there, and they're going to need to come back, as Soj will do it there with that play, and they're still well and truly in this one, as I think that was an own goal. From Decky, I believe. Oh yeah, it was. It got bumped into X-Sync. Affinity Reborn with an unorthodox way to try to come back in this game, but only need one more goal to continue on this pressure, as good 50-50 will be good for Galactic Nebula. Affinity Reborn with a quick dunk, another one from Tomato, as Decky set it back. Coop now just getting enough of it against Soj. Affinity Reborn will continue to wait here, but not for long, as Tomato's early challenge will give Soj the ball. And here he goes down the field. Soj won't get the beat on Coop, but Reborn looking to be back down the field. Definitely trying to keep Galactic Nebula as far back as possible, as Elites may have done that. Here comes the 1v1. Decky to stop, but it's in front of the goal line. And no follow-up from Affinity Reborn will come. But in comes Tomato. X-Sync will be there. And Affinity Reborn getting so close, and yet still so far. I'm running out for them here in game 2. Galactic Nebula giving themselves one step ahead and not giving up this lead. As Soj again. This time, Decky to keep them out. Affinity Reborn scored once in the last 10 seconds last game. Can they do it here? They'll have to keep the ball up to find that chance, but it will not happen easily, as a miss from Tomato. And Galactic Nebula will tie the series up at 1. In this Affinity Reborn side, just doesn't look like the same team we've seen before. So much more mistake prone, so much more panicked. And the usual calm collectiveness that this side has just doesn't show up here for them. They are under the pressure of Galactic Nebula, who just feel like they're just playing with confidence at this point, and it's working for them. Can't fault a team for having something work. Right into game number 3. Affinity Reborn. It's really up to them because they do not look like the stronger team so far this series. Even in game 1, it felt like Galactic Nebula very well probably could have and in many ways should have taken that game. They just didn't have a lot of shots to show for it. Now as we go into game 3, it really is Galactic Nebula who are just getting better and better, and Affinity Reborn who are still looking very panicked on defense, and they need to be able to kind of, I think, really stop their own fears, because it does feel like this pace of Galactic Nebula was something that they just aren't ready for against any team. With the panic on full display, Galactic Nebula know that what they're doing is working. They only need to continue doing it for more. His elites around the sidewall. Nice little dribble with it too, as he'll try to get that pop under Decky, but early challenge will keep him away, and Affinity Reborn getting removed off the field. Its X-Sync shot will be supposed to get there, but still, the demo's putting some strain on the Affinity Reborn side. They don't have players playing upfield because none of them are ever upfield long enough to get to the ball. So just another way Galactic Nebula is looking to really make Affinity Reborn frustrated in this matchup. And they're doing a pretty good job. Affinity Reborn just not having that same success. You could really tell at times they're trying to force the Galactic Nebula team to challenge them. Galactic Nebula is all in for that, as Affinity Reborn aren't winning the challenge easily, but this is a big win, and nobody back. It's Soj to score down in the open cage. Affinity Reborn still have every option to them there, as a very long challenge from Decky. Must not have trusted in his teammate to get to that one, as he was risking that open net to get there. Unfortunately for him, it won't work out. That means Affinity Reborn are up 1-0. The first time I think this series they've actually been able to be the ones to score first in a game. Maybe this will be a change of pacing so often that first goal can make adjustments. It usually happens a lot more in the lower ranks. You see it much more pronounced, but in this higher levels, it still has that same kind of effect. Affinity Reborn maybe will calm themselves down because of this 1-goal lead, that ability to score first, or maybe instead of trying to chase after Galactic Nebula so often, now they're going to force Galactic Nebula to chase after them. But a second goal would be even better for Affinity Reborn's chances. That 1-goal lead probably isn't going to last forever in this game, so another goal will give them so much space, so much opportunity to make things work, as Decky, oh dear. I'd been looking for a redirect off that back wall, but he instead just found a touch that went right into his own nets, and that's going to make things a little awkward for Galactic Nebula. As Affinity Reborn looking to take match point here and now. Elites. Nice dribble there. X-Sync will keep it away. As Affinity Reborn continuing on the offense, that second goal that they've been looking for now finally achieved. They can rest a little bit easier. You can tell they're still not done with the offense. They want more. They really want to make sure they stick it here in the faces of Galactic Nebula. Really let them know that they are the team that's going to be the stronger ones this series, and they do have that ability to take them down quite easily. Still, though, even with how Affinity Reborn has been playing, even with all the offense they've had, Galactic Nebula have still played well. Again, they just have struggled to get multiple shots on nets, and that's what's really making things tough for them. Last game, they had no issues with getting shots. This game, it's a whole different answer, and much like game 1. Galactic Nebula are playing well, but they aren't playing good enough, and Affinity Reborn who are going to recognize that and take advantage of it. As Coop on net, it leads to level that one wide, and it will be almost kept away as a follow-up touch, kept out by Soj. Galactic Nebula Continue the offense as they'll now pass the X-Sync. This one kept high, but a redirect from Soj will keep Galactic Nebula away. And that's a very Affinity Reborn-esque play that consistently find each other on defense so quickly. Again, you can tell that first goal has really calmed them down. That's what has made all the difference in this game for Affinity Reborn. As a follow coming from Devonator. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to Spotia Stream, Devonator77. Hope you're doing well. You're joining us for our last match of the night here. Affinity Reborn and Omega and not Omega, Galactic Nebula. Omega Nebula is a different org and a different team, but this is Galactic Nebula here in the open qualifiers. The first of 2 stages of such open qualifiers. Either side, the winner of this match will guarantee a spot in stage 2. Affinity Reborn are the favorites in this series, and here in Game 3, their most confident performance yet. Definitely a sort of confidence we haven't seen from this side yet tonight. And here in Game 3, Affinity Reborn with, again, so much confidence after being the ones to score first for the first time. Again, it's just a whole different Affinity side when they get that first goal, when the confidence is there with them. Unfortunately for Galactic Nebula, although they don't look any different than they have in the past games, at least on how they're playing. The fact of the matter is, Affinity Reborn is playing better and is more confident, and that could really spell disaster for Galactic Nebula, who have kept this series so close so far. Pressure still on them to make things happen as Coop down the sidewall. Tomato will look and feel, but Affinity Reborn getting Mets, but they won't worry at all. This ball's gonna roll to the ground, and they'll take match point, one game away from guaranteeing a spot in stage 2 here of the open qualifier. Again, a confident performance for Affinity. Galactic Nebula, a lot of work on their plate to see if they can take the series to Game 5. It's not going to be an easy thing, especially if they don't score first. It's going to be tough for them. But we know it's possible. We've seen this team already. They play so close to Affinity Reborn. But if they can score first, they have every reason to take the series to Champions Field. But that's an if. That's a huge if. They've got to score first in this game. And that's no easy feat with Affinity Reborn is feeling. If they score first, that could really spell disaster, because we saw last game the difference that it made. It'll be Affinity. I take this one down the field. Galactic Nebula, a lot of panic, and that net's wide open for Soj. It wasn't hard and easy shot, but he placed it perfectly in the top right corner. And just bad play from Galactic Nebula. Everybody in the same corner there. And an opening that should never have happened is given to Soj, and he's going to make Galactic Nebula pay for it. There's Affinity Reborn on the scoreboard first again, and as we said before, with how last game went, the fact of the matter is they scored first, and that's where the confidence came into it. As Elites, light touch there, little X-Sync to keep up with it. Affinity Reborn looking to challenge X-Sync, the Elites to be there. It's Galactic Nebula getting a little bit more involved upfield. This is definitely their pushback. They haven't been scored on. It's actually quite aggressive, and it's really working here. Affinity Reborn, again, are definitely a bit petrified. You can see them sitting a lot more on defense, waiting to play. As Galactic Nebula are keeping them captivated, but not for good reasons if you're on Affinity Reborn. Because that next move for Galactic Nebula is one that they have to just wait for. But so far, they've kept things out, albeit, again, it's not been in a beautiful looking defense. It's been so much of a reactive style in the backfield for Affinity Reborn that fundamentally this one goal lead is not going to stay very easy for them. And again, as I've said, Galactic Nebula, generally a team that will find goals, so I would not expect them, this Affinity Reborn team, to win 1-0. Need a few more goals to really solidify this game, this series, and their placement in Stage 2 of the Open Qualifier. Another challenge for Galactic Nebula. Soj. Up to the corner. Coop to challenge, but it will stay wide. Galactic. X-Sync. Again on target. Affinity Reborn. Holding on in the back line. Basically no space for them on offense at all this game. It's Omega. It is Galactic Nebula. Not Omega Nebula. I keep saying the same wrong teams. My apologies. It is Galactic Nebula who, I mean, so far, have not left offense. Affinity Reborn, again, I said this 1-goal lead is not safe for them, and especially not when they're playing this far back. At this point, they're just trying to get clears out just to keep Galactic Nebula away for moments at a time, and they get themselves boost. It has been draining for Affinity Reborn to have to deal with Galactic Nebula, but finally, yet another clear, and this time it will be substantiated through the midfield. As X-Sync challenged by Elites. Affinity Reborn, a sigh of relief. The past couple minutes have just been them playing defense again and again. Now they finally get to have some play up the field. They get to waste time. They get to really put Galactic Nebula on the back foot and see if they can get that second goal that can really make things a whole lot easier for them. There will be Elites demoed away. Decky, another one. Coop, not on target, but a ball from X-Sync will be cleared away by Soj. Once again, Affinity Reborn standing their ground, but they may not do it here! As Decky off the infield pass, Galactic Nebula knew it was only a matter of time. And eventually, the amount of defense Affinity Reborn had to play caught up to them. Galactic Nebula, who finally break through. This game, heading into its final minutes, but both these teams, at least currently tied up. Affinity Reborn, Galactic Nebula, this is a series that feels like it's going to go to Game 5. I mean, Galactic Nebula, definitely the better side right now. You can tell that confidence right back there for them that we saw earlier in this series. They've only ever really lost it in Game 5 at the very start of this game. They've gotten it back, and Affinity Reborn just trying desperately to get downfield. It only takes one chance for them to get a goal, so can't count them out, but so far, their offense has just not appeared ever since the start of this game. And a chance they're having is minimal compared to that of what Galactic Nebula had to do. Still, it's tied. That means anybody can take it here as Soj. Pick one off in the midfield, and Tomato nearly caught Galactic Nebula waiting. There will still be Affinity Reborn on the offense. As waiting is Soj. You'll get the fake on X-Sync. Now another fake on X-Sync. Coop now gets flicked here. Tomato to the corner. In front for Elites. X-Sync will keep him out. And Affinity Reborn will keep it alive here at the end of Game 4. We'll look for one more chance. Tomato in front. And it does go across the goal line. But it doesn't go in. And we go to overtime again. Affinity Reborn won the last of these in Game 1 after over 2 minutes of really back and forth gameplay, but a lot more offense from Galactic Nebula. Now in Game 4, if they can score and win another overtime, this one will allow them to take the series. No easy matchup against the Galactic Nebula. So far, though, they have done well, but you can say the same thing about Galactic, who is definitely looking like they're on the stronger side right now, as that's off X-Sync, not all that scary. Well, the potential of a follow-up from Galactic Nebula was definitely a lot more of what he was looking on that play. Still, Affinity Reborn engaging in the demos still. What won them that's really what won them Game 1 were those demos. We haven't seen them really employ them all that easily ever since. In this best of 5 series, again, it's such a quick series. And for how good these teams are, you feel like best of 7 would still have been a great way to decide these teams. Again, it's the qualifiers, it's still early on in this bracket. You really gotta work to get to that main event. Affinity Reborn looking again to secure that spot in Stage 2 of the Open Qualifier. Galactic Nebula preventing them. But it's Elites for Affinity Reborn. Space gained on offense, but a Great touch from Clear, and that's going to be powerfully away. Soj, low boost left, but he will put it in the midfield, and Decky didn't have a beautiful touch on it, but does keep it airborne here as Affinity Reborn Elites nearly snuck that one in. It was a little wide, and even if so, Galactic Nebula had players back. I don't think we'll be seeing that kind of a play end this series, but this one might, as an overcommit from Tomato. Not the first time he's been caught doing that, but he'll be so thankful that shot was off target. It really could have ended this overtime, as once again, over 2 minutes of gameplay on Affinity Reborn and Galactic Nebula still in this overtime. For Galactic Nebula, again, reminder, both these teams in the upper bracket, whoever loses this would go to lower bracket, would almost certainly be the favorite to win down there, so really, for both these teams, there's a chance to stay in that upper bracket as long as they can, but a demo will leave it for Coop, and Galactic Nebula keep themselves in it. This series is going to Game 5. For Affinity Reborn, they had chances upfield, but still a lack of offense from this side, a lack of really pushing. Again, just the confidence with Affinity Reborn just seems to be gone for them this series. Or at the very least, it's being heavily overshadowed by Galactic Nebula. We'll go to Champions Field to end off this match, our final match of the night. Best series it has been so far is a little follow coming in from Nate Goes Live. Thank you for the follow, Nate. Welcome to the sportiest stream. We go into game number 5 on Champions Field. Reminder, the winner of this still has a chance to go to the upper bracket in Stage 2 and keep their second life. Most likely they'll be playing against Mishmash Gaming though, so no easy place to be. But for both these teams, what's really more important about this series is just qualifying for Stage 2. No easy thing to do, and again, this matchup is pretty evenly matched. Oh, what a flipping set, though! Oh my goodness, Soj! What a goal there in Game 5 to get the scoring started. And he was very high compared to that net. This series, considering on your there's a raid from Feisty Taquito. How you doing, my friend? Hopefully your stream was fun. We've got Galactic Nebula and Affinity Reborn here in a Grand Circuit Qualifiers matchup going to Game 5. How you doing, Taquito? Hopefully your night has been fun. As right now, Affinity Reborn with some confidence here in this game, which is confidence that we didn't see last game. And just a single series. Well, what was that series, Taquito? Please let me know what it was like, how it went, because I'm interested to know. For now, though, I'm really interested in this match. Affinity Reborn, 2 goals early, but as we saw last game, they may get off to good starts, but Galactic Nebula is just a better team when it comes to holding that possession. Affinity Reborn continuing the offense. Tomato was looking for a drop-down pass to Soj. Quite ambitious for Affinity Reborn, but at this point, why not? We're in a good position, and for a goal, you know, you're not going to get it easily against Galactic Nebula. You got to just do something creative, as Tomato may do it here. The dribble stopped there by Decky. Elites only able to get past 1. Will goes to the back corner. As Soj end of the way as we're getting a message from Mosquito. Fio sweep. Wow, in ECS. Interstellar versus Underworld Wolves Black. Oh, I'm friends with the Underworld Wolves Black players. I'm assuming, though, Interstellar probably won. They are the favorites. Although, Underworld Wolves has played well. Who won that series? Actually, could be any of them. It's Affinity Reborn. Looking to keep the offense. Soj gets the beat on X-Sync. Tomato out towards the corner. Still Tomato gets the beat on Coop in front for Elites, but Decky will be there, and Affinity Reborn will continue to attack as a follow-up play in there as well. Coop will clear it out. Galactic Nebula, 3 minutes left to make a comeback. Keep their upper bracket life going, but a demo gives space for Tomato. Now the flick up for Soj, and that one saved away. Galactic Nebula, hold on. Decky won't get the win there, but Affinity Reborn holding the offense here for good reason. They don't want anything to do with Galactic Nebula getting momentum. We saw how bad it was last game. It went to the overtime, and it really never felt like Galactic Nebula should ever lose that game. Affinity Reborn just want to stop that from even being a possibility here. So far, they've done a very good job at it with just these very early challenges. As Soj downward, X-Sync will respond as Tomato. The long clear. Soj in the midfield deck, he will be there in time, but definitely a bit close there for Affinity Reborn as Elites dunk on Coop. Affinity waiting for it, but Galactic Nebula, now their chance to attack. Infield for Coop, but Soj will intercept, and Affinity Reborn, you can tell the nerves really are there for them. They recognize how good this Galactic Nebula side is. Ever since Game 1, Galactic Nebula has given Affinity Reborn a tough time. It's only been through sheer will that Affinity Reborn are the ones in the lead right now. Galactic Nebula trying to make that upset as a shot off the crossbar from Elites. Tomato trying to make it free, but Decky will be there, and Galactic Nebula, great defense, but it's not defense they need right now. They need players on offense. They need plays on that net. And they have seen none of that this game. Again, Affinity Reborn, that's been their playstyle so far, has been just deny the offensive opportunities in the first place and hope that Galactic Nebula don't get momentum. So far, it's worked. Elites take under X-Sync, wasting even more precious time for Galactic Nebula. Now a flick. Veered back by Coop. It's X-Sync. It's a goal, and Tomato will be there. And Galactic Nebula will search again. Coop. Veered away. Affinity Reborn, one more goal surely will secure this game for them. I don't think they really care anymore about getting another point on the board. As long as they play better by keeping the play out of their half. As Galactic Nebula want to see it, but haven't seen anything on offense. Affinity Reborn keeping them scoreless, and for Galactic Nebula, this has been a tough series for them. A rough end to a great performance. They could not make the upset. Affinity Reborn will keep them out here. It was a tough series. It was definitely expected to be such, but in Game 5, Affinity Reborn came in as the favorites. Will take the series here. And we'll go into that next part of the Stage 1. They have qualified for Stage 2 at this point, but still one more match to determine if they'll stay in the upper bracket to go into Stage 2, or if they'll go to the lower bracket in Stage 2. But now they'll... A good win for them. It went 3-2, though, against Galactic Nebula. And this match, again, was scheduled so recently as well. It was literally scheduled right before the stream started. Again, definitely a great series. I'm so happy we got to see this match. Will be Affinity Reborn who will still take this matchup. As Affinity, man, this org, they do find ways to win. This definitely was the toughest match which has been for them, but so again, a big victory for them. We aren't going to get an interview, though. Apparently, they're not available for one. But still, what a match that was for them. Affinity Reborn, not the first time we've seen the stream, and again, it's not going to be our last either. As we see the matches all today. Actually, it started with the field sweep for the Tempest. Then it was Evo Academy with the 3-1 win, and Affinity Reborn with a 3-2 win. So we went 3-0, 3-1, 3-2, and all the orange teams won today. Can we check demo stats? I actually didn't, but if you guys want to calculate demo stats, you can after this one. The VOD will be public, so by all means, go and do that. Now, what a series again! Great to end to our night. We've got a ton of matches tomorrow, but I'm tired. I want to end the stream and I want to go to sleep. Thank you all so much for joining the Sportiest stream. Again, we'll have more matches tomorrow. Now, take care, be well, and we'll see you guys again very, very soon here live with more Rocket League action.